Geopolitically, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers act to say they high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up, had to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Took the way you saw the world, then distorted it. Now you think you wanna rock that twirl, somewhere orbiting. Theories disproportionate, the truth distorted quick with a forceful grip. They force a misinfo that we absorbing quick. Took the people's signature, that mean extorted it. They forging it, if news ain't good informants who informing them. There's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. But what's important is this, we port and ships important. Yes, of course it is, but extortion is in accordance with an assortment list of foreign tricks we ignoring, which informant this, informant this. It looked like we were snoring tricked. Pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those insubordinate. Way to matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers act to say they high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real?
Hey, what's up, guys? Oh, hey, what's up? Oh, Austin, it's so late. It's so late. Austin, it just keeps getting later. Well, you know, happy Nimrod's Eve, 11:22 p.m. Central. And everything's going to be okay. I was hanging out with a friend, and then I was super tired. I caught a nap. I caught some Z's. I'm a little late. I'm sorry. I didn't leave y'all hanging. I've done a stream every day. You know what I'm saying? What's up to all the legends in YouTube? Oh, what's up to all the legends in Dlive? We got 50 legends in Dlive. What's up, everybody? Alberta Bear, that gif is hilarious every time I see it with the cat dancing, bro. Alberta Bear with the diamond, what's up, bro? Look at all these unplugs. Just a bunch of legends, bro. Ladles out. Merry Christmas Eve. Merry Mythmas. Merry Mythmas. What's up? What's it? What up, bro? Y'all like the intro is obviously still working on the visualizer itself with the water and stuff. Someone did that. I think that's super cool. I made the video with a Patreon, so it's not that great, but I just wanted to make something. All right. So yeah, just figured maybe this is something that some people should hear or we should talk about. It's gonna sound wild to the closed-minded, but don't all my streams. So yeah, basically the idea being myth. Is this a myth? Are these characters myths? They gotta be myths, bro. Look at that's a freaking bird dude. You know, look at this wolf dude. This is like a dog dude. This has got to be a myth. This can't be real. This has got to be a myth, right? I don't know. Twit's got my favorite joke on my mind now. We wish you a Merry Mythmas. I'm just gonna call it Mythmas. It's all myth. But is it? All right. I think we've waited long enough. We got 44 people. And again, we have 47 legends in Dlive, 814 followers. I don't know why we don't have 1,000 yet. I'm going to go crazy. We need 1,000 subs by the 31st. But don't worry, we're going to have Dlive exclusive content. So all you people that just refuse to go over there to a web browser and type dlive.tv, make free accounts, y'all are going to be missing the gravy. Actually, you can still go watch it for free, I think. You have to make an account, and you can just follow me. So anyway, we had to restart the whole stream because Dlive didn't want to work, but it's all good. We're here now. So I know y'all probably hate me just freaking playing videos, but we're just going to get into this with a video. Right? Some basic mainstream knowledge about these things that people call myths, and then we're going to go from there. Basically, it was a quick little preface for you. These civilizations that existed in the ancient days, for one, we don't know the years at all. It looks like they could have hit an entire 1,000 years. You know, like they got to grabbling, bro. And all these polytheistic religions have been hand-waved dismissed, certainly in modern times, as just crazy, kooky people making up stuff by looking at nature and then saying, that's a god. You know, like, oh, did the wind just blow? Let's make a wind god. Oh, look, the sun. Must be the sun god. And I used to think the same thing. That's all they did, right? Kingdom in Context just hit me with a $20 super chat. You are the man. Great stuff, brother. The controllers call edited history myth, but there was truth to the history. Indeed. My man knows what he's talking about. And thank you very much for the Nimrod Eve super chat. Greatly appreciate it. See, I like the text like this better. I like the little bubble. It's a little smoother. You know, I don't know if y'all like that or not. I can show y'all all of them. This is a chill stream, guys. We're just chilling and enjoying Nimrod Eve while we expose it and call it out for the Grabble show that it is. So we got the default. This is what we have been using. We got the minimal. We got the bubble. And then we got the block. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm on this one right now. Thank you very much for the super chat, bro. You're the man. All right, so that's a lot of gods. Yeah, we're going to get into it. What's up, Ref Bear? Scar Bear, Rise and Shine, Argentina, Nico Bear, Cholito Bear. Just moved from DoomTube. What's up, bro? Looks like you're missing an unplugged tag. I'm just kidding, dude. Doesn't really matter. Nikki Bear, you just get tons of juice. As soon as you get that unplugged tag, all of a sudden your juice just shoots through the roof. That's just what I hear. MGD84. What up, bro? You're a legend. All right, I shouted everyone out in the Dlive chat. Gotta show love to the Dlive. Bubble is good. All right, liking the bubble. Bubbles. Oh, look, bubble it is. Merry Penis Worship Eve. Yeah. Let's all just act like it's not creepy that you put gold and silver and lights on something that represents Nimrod's male anatomy. Let's get into what people call mythologies in a world where no one knows what the world is and gammas run wild. Have we been detached from history under the guise of mythos?
It was a feast like Egypt had never seen before. The warrior god Set and his wife, the goddess Nephthys, decorated an extravagant hall for the occasion, with a beautiful wooden chest as the centerpiece. They invited all the most important gods, dozens of lesser deities, and foreign monarchs, but no one caused as...
See, everyone thinks like, oh, this is all fake. Like, but dude, you want to keep up with the creepy grabblers. If you do keep up with the creepy grabblers, then you know that yeah, they're still to this day obsessed with this stuff. I'm trying not to. I'll try not to interrupt it, but you know these videos are really, really, really boring to me. I play them to you guys so we can just cover some of the basics that I'm not typically that good at doing because I just start to I just load up a machine gun and I just start riddling you with bullets, chaotically scattergunning. So, we checked out in my Jesuit order stream where they have secret caves where they still have Egyptian mythology on the caves, bro. And it's like the pharaoh with the snake on their head. So the whole trick is that they think it's real and they told you it was a mythos. I'm just letting you know that's the whole trick. That's the whole trick. If you read their literature and stuff, they don't even hide this, right? They just know people don't read literature and people are stupid and people can read their literature and still not understand it because they're stupid. And so they don't really have to lie too much more than just telling you some provably false story. And at that point, they're like, you deserve to be tricked. You're an idiot. They look at, I'm being bluntly honest, what they think is you're incompetent. You don't deserve to know the truth. And that's how they feel. But over here on WitsitGetsIt, we're going to break the spells and tell you the truth anyway. Because the little creepy grabblers with grandhamps that are clearly all sodomites and play dressed up in the dark on crazy psychopaths, they don't deserve the right to tell you what you're allowed to know about. Now, do they? Glabbers, I say it all the time now because of Austin. I say it because of Owen. It's so funny. And I use the word grabbler a little different than he does. It's for all the creepy grabblers. I use them for everybody. And the best verb ever is grabbled. In a world where no one knows what the world is.
But no one caused as big a stir as Set and Nephthys' older brother Osiris, the god who ruled all of Egypt and had brought prosperity to everyone. Set announced a game. Whoever could fit perfectly in the chest could have it as a gift. One by one, the guests clambered in, but no one fit. Finally, it was Osiris's turn. As he lay down, everyone could see it was a perfect fit. Another win for the god who could do no wrong. Then, Set slammed the lid down, with Osiris still inside, sealed it shut, and tossed it into the Nile. The chest was a coffin. Set had constructed it specifically to trap his brother, and planned the party to lure him into it. Set had long been jealous of his brother's successful reign, and hoped to replace him as the ruler of all Egypt.
This guy was supposed to be some omnipotent god, and then in the mainstream story, not omnipotent because he's 2/3 god, 1/3 human supposedly, but in the mainstream story, they tell you that his brother was just salty, so locked him up in a box and threw him in the river. Like, are you kidding me? That's not what the grabblers believe, by the way. But anyway, moving on. What is this, bro? What's up with this? What's up with these snakes, bro? Look at this sodomite. I know they're cartoons, guys. I get it.
The Nile bore the coffin out to sea, and it drifted for many days before washing ashore near Byblos, where a great cedar grew around it. The essence of the god within gave the tree a divine aura, and when the king of Byblos noticed it, he ordered the tree cut down and brought to his palace. Unbeknownst to him, the coffin containing Egypt's most powerful...
He's got a huge grabbler lean, whoever illustrated this. Why does everyone got such big noses? What's going on, dude? It's a very reasonable assumption. All these people have hand cramps, dude. What is going on? Every single character, bro. Even the baby, dude.
To him, the coffin containing Egypt's most powerful god was still inside. Set's victory seemed complete, but he hadn't counted on his sisters. Set's wife Nephthys was also his sister, while their other sister, the goddess Isis, was married to their brother Osiris. Isis was determined to find Osiris.
These are the parts I want y'all to hear, like the cartoons. Yeah, the cartoons are always stupid, but I'm just wanting y'all to hear this part,
Goddess Isis was married to their brother Osiris. Isis was determined to find Osiris and enlisted Nephthys' help behind Set's back.
Actually, this isn't even true, right? It wasn't his brother. It wasn't. What are you talking about? It wasn't her brother, dude. It was her freaking. See, I have another one, but it's so boring. Like just the monotone voice. I might just rant to you guys because.
The Egyptian civilization gave birth to one.
We're going to check it out anyway. Sorry about the cartoon. It was trash. So that was awful. But anyway, the point is they have this whole mainstream story, like they're going to tell you there and stuff. And it's not even the real story. It's not the real story. Isis was Osiris's mother. And he gets dismembered. and beheaded, and this was removed from the scriptures. But the point is, this is all very real. And during this week of Saturnalia, there's tons of things that are about these gods that people don't know, all the way down to the very freaking mistletoe, all the way down to the very freaking statements. And as the gravy y'all got in the Christmas stream, they call it Xmas as a joke, laughing at you because you don't know who you're celebrating. So it's just empty, just Xmas. In addition, X is symbolic of Luciferianism. This is why you see them do this all the time. You had that whole Wakanda movie, right? Black Panther just doing this, and the dude dies at 42. Guys, this is symbolic. You get the X's. You can actually you can end up getting 3 of these, creating the seal of Solomon. So anyway, that's what the X is, and X is like it's laughing at you. It's like, oh, happy Xmas. Blank miss, because you just don't know what it is, the undefined variable of who you're actually supposedly worshiping on this day. It's pretty ridiculous, but in a world where maybe this will be better than the cartoon.
One of the world's most complex and fascinating religions, with stories filled with powerful gods and fantastic creatures. Major gods like Osiris, Horus, and Isis are well known for lovers of Egyptian history and mythology. But what not everyone knows is that there were some primordial gods of Egypt. Some of these deities were worshipped during specific periods of Egyptian history, and others, over time, had their names and appearance changed, acquiring new roles and assignments within the Egyptian.
Guys, you think all this is fake? This is not fake. This is all literal depictions. Yep, get some. Gravy's coming. We can't uncut it. It's Nimrod Eve. Look, these are all literal, bro. They worship them as gods. That's correct. And they worship them because of like the amount of domain they would have over all types of animals, how big they were, where they track their stories back to. Now, this is going to be, of course, represented like always as some mythos. But was it, right? And what existed prior to these quote-unquote demigods that interacted with humans on a human level, right? They still had deities they revered. These are the rebellious angels that were in the sky. This is where most of polytheism comes from, them and the Watchers. You hear stories about in Epic of Gilgamesh. Look here. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, you hear stories about like, the gods were fighting. So what the Epic of Gilgamesh says, some say that's the oldest text we have, right? You have the Akkadian, Sumerian, Babylonian tablets. And they'll say that when you look at the Epic of Gilgamesh, which I've read, that it's like the oldest one, and the oldest text that we have or whatever, and it is very old, but what it says is that the gods were in heaven and the humans just wouldn't shut up. This is actually what it says. The humans wouldn't shut up. They wouldn't stop being so loud, and they couldn't sleep. This is what they think. They think that these characters are gods, but that they got so mad because the humans were so loud that they couldn't sleep. So they drowned them all by flooding the earth. That's the actual story. So, come on. It's the freaking rebellious angels and the Watchers. Yeah, they're fighting amongst each other. They're just consumed in pride and ego, want to be revered as gods. Can you explain to me another intellectually viable option where gods fight each other? No, you cannot. So everything is a lie, and everything you've been told on the surface is a lie. So there's lies on top of lies on top of lies. Depends on how much of the gravy you want to get, bro. Do you just want to go around saying Merry Christmas forever and just be ignorant and stick your head in the sand? It's whatever. I have no problem with people saying Merry Christmas, bro. I'm just saying, like, this is coming from some pretty crazy stuff. You should at least learn about it. You know what I'm saying? In a world.
Pantheon. But what would be of Egyptian civilization without the river Nile? The Nile was so relevant throughout history that many...
Oh, shout out to my man Prognostic with the Ninja Genie. Hey, thank you very much. You're a legend, Prognostic. Matt Prince sub, thank you very much for the sub, bro. Keep ladling that gravy, brother. Matt Prince with the diamond. Thank you, bro. Much love to all the diamonds all the legends in Dlive. The show recaps are mind-blowing. Well, you're going to get, I'm sure, some scattergun recap gravy. Happy New Year. Well, it's not the new year, Twit. Twit, I'm sorry. I know I'm not. I'm a party pooper, dude. I guess I'll answer your question on camera. Just because I like you. Twit. I just got to say, there's no such thing as a happy new year until the new year starts. And the new year doesn't start until March, which is from the Mars god. That's why it's called March. And they took the whole calendar and changed it to the Julian calendar, then to the Gregorian calendar, then told you that December ends in the 12th month, or is the 12th month, and ends the year. And then you start the new year with this crazy, creepy ball dropping from the sky ritual, yet the new year doesn't start then. The new year starts when life begins, when life starts to come back. When life comes back every year, that's when the year starts, because, you know, God made everything perfect. And that's why you have December, which means literally 10. Dece, 10 is the 12th month. Why would December be the 12th month? Why would October be where it's at? Why are all the months with their etymology meaning? Because they changed the entire calendar, and the new year starts in March, and like in the middle of what we call March, but they had to flip it all around. 30 days, 31 days, leap year, 28 days, blah, 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 bunch of nonsense, so they could switch it, so they could tell you the story about Yeshua dying at the end of the year and how we need to celebrate it, so they can normalize Saturnalia, intertwine it with the belief of somehow having something to do with Jesus, which Jesus has nothing to do with Yeshua, and it's all fairy tale because that's not even what his name was. So I don't think there's something inherently bad with like being happy at a certain time of year and wanting to be nice to people or even giving them presents. I don't think that Christmas presents are bad, right? But I think that like ignorance is bad. So, you know, it's like celebrate whatever, right? Like just celebrate being with your family maybe and not cucking to the government. And then, yeah, like New Year, you know what? You can make a New Year's resolution, but it's not even the new year. It's not even the new year, bro. They got everyone making these occultic like rituals and devotions and oaths. Since everyone makes an oath on New Year's Eve, basically, right? And this may sound crazy, and I'm just looking too deep into it. I get it, but it is deep. If you look into it, it's gonna be deep, or you're just not gonna look into it. But anyway, you know, I still love you, Twit. I'm sorry, but you know, no, I don't like. I don't truly celebrate those things anymore. I'm just sitting here all lonely on Nimrod Eve, and I'm cool with it. In a world.
Many deities have been attributed as guardians or rulers of the river. The goddess Anuket was initially related to the flow of the waters of the Nile River, more specifically as the ruler of the first Nile waterfall. The name Anuket can be translated as the one who embraces, and her cult.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you want to talk to this girl? Nico Bear Diamond Mythmas is a great name. I agree. Must be nice to celebrate Myth. Yeah, you're just mad because you don't trust the plan and Trumpish is going to save us all. Mary Myth. Look at this creepy woman, bruh. Bunch of this reminds me of my ex. I'm just kidding. This has got to be my ex. I don't even know. But no, like, guys, look at this. This is so weird. This is the Jezebel spirit. Isis is the one that actually got everyone to worship goddesses. People didn't do that beforehand. So that shows you there are female entities in the metaphysical, and there's actually a hierarchy even there because there's a natural logos and order and hierarchy in all creation. And they've subverted it, right? And so this is where you get the Jezebel spirit of 2020 where women think they should run relationships and stuff like this. And then you can't even really blame them because most men are weak little gammas that they... You know, the way that works is you deserve respect. You know, like she wants to respect you. She actually wants to respect you and show you respect and appreciates your opinion and wants to be a part of the order. You do not force these things, right? So it's on the male. Like if the female is trying to flip the order, well, it's on the male. It's on the man. But anyway, this is just like a cartoon depicting the Jezebel spirit, basically. What a psychopath looking thing, dude. Anyway, this looks just like whenever every night I try to tell my ex about, you know, the second law of thermodynamics. She just didn't care. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to bash my ex. Just a joke. All right, anyway, let's see what they got to say about this creepy little Jezebel whore.
As the one who embraces, and her cult was practiced mainly on the island of Elephantine in Upper Egypt. Anuket was also the goddess of hunting, called the Lady of Gazelles, an animal deemed sacred and protected by the goddess. Over time, Anukit acquired a maternal trait in the Egyptian religion, as a protector of labor and sometimes being portrayed breastfeeding the pharaoh. During the New Empire period, the Anukit cult included a festival to celebrate the floods of the Nile River.
Oh, celebrate the floods. Sorry, y'all are making me laugh. Dude, I know this is so boring. I feel like I gotta pause it. If y'all want me to stop pausing, I will. We'll just sit here like we're in class, pull out your notebooks. Dlive's hilarious, though. How to be the life of the Christmas party. Call it Happy Nimrod Day. I just walk in and start breaking spells. As long as your X, not your next. Well, that's a guarantee that that's not the case. Hi, I think we need Enoch calendar merchandise. Yeah, I'm trying to design it right now. I think that the upfront cost is going to be the problem. It's going to cost a good amount of money to design it and make it quality and then get it where I can send it out to everybody. I don't know. I might actually have to make it where I can make some money so I can cover the cost. I wanted to sell them where I wasn't really making money, but it's not even feasible. I'm working with a couple of people. I think a couple of people want to help me out, but we'll have to see where that goes. But yeah, that's a good idea. That's what I want to do. I actually want to have I want to have a sundial, but like not just any sundial, right? They're typically the same, but I want like a certain type of sundial that works with the Enoch calendar. Just got to stick in the middle. So in theory, right, if you were out in the wilderness and you had this sundial, you would be able to adequately keep up with the time and the days. And then if you had what else I want to sell, which is like a clock that's solar powered, and it's got the Enoch calendar put out with sacred geometry basically, and it'll be a little clock, right? And we could actually have two versions, one with a week hand and one with an hour hand to get different aspects of the cycle. So if you had these devices that were solar powered clocks that were showing you where you are on the calendar layered, with every single aspect of it, lunar cycle, solar cycle, days and night cycles, the solstices, the equinoxes, the years. And then you had a sundial, like literally, everything could shut down and you'd still be able to keep up with stuff. You might say, why is that important? I just need to figure out how to eat. Well, yeah, you need to figure out how to eat, but you need to understand actually the person that provides for you is God, whether or not you want to accept or not. You're not some special boy that can figure everything out, especially if like the freaking world goes to hell in a handbasket or whatever that saying is, which is a really creepy grappler saying. And I'm sure I should never say it. I'm sure there's something deep and dark about it. But anyway, so yeah, you just got to, hey man, you just got to look for the truth. It's uncomfortable. What are you going to do in a world?
An event much awaited by the ancient Egyptians, who approached that time of the year as a phase of renewal and rebirth. Another deity related to the waters of the Nile was the god Hapi. Hapi was a god with unique physical traits, with blue or green skin, and a chubby body depicting the abundance brought by the river. Hapi was worshipped in every Egyptian religion, and his role was so important that he was often revered above Ra, the sun god.
This looks like one of the rebellious angels.
And his role was so important that he was often revered above Ra, the sun god. He was also known as the father of the gods, and albeit represented as a male deity, he has the strange ability to breastfeed. Hapi would have been responsible for feeding Osiris when he was killed by Seth, helping the god's resurrection. Besides fertilizing the soil to nurture plantations and animals, the Nile also provided a rich source of food. The ancient Egyptians believed that the fish of the Nile were bred and guided by the goddess Hatmehit.
Oh, another creepy little female. Prognostic with another ninja genie, because he's a legend. The ISS just flew over my house. Hi, Santa. That's probably way more accurate than you know. There's no telling. There's a final one. That's rebellion. I don't know everything. Am I the only one that struggles to find something likable about this dude? No, you're probably the only one that comes and listens to people they don't like talk on camera though for hours. What a weirdo.
Was depicted as a woman with a fish head or wearing a crown with a big fish on top. Her cult was most popular in Lower Egypt, where the goddess increased the schools of fish, remarkably important to feed the population.
Oh, why does the Pope wear the fish on the hat? Oh, I wonder why.
Important to feed the population. Among the ancestral Egyptian gods, one stood out for his major importance for the creation of human beings.
What does that look like to you guys? What's that look like? That looks just like Baphomet. He's just missing some boobs. This is Baphomet.
Khnum was an ancient god with a sheep's head, his name meaning the modeler. Khnum's origin is related to the pre-dynastic period of Egyptian history. Originally, he was a water god, but due to his great skill as a potter, he started to shape all living beings. Khnum was responsible to give shape to all newborns, while also taking charge of creating the spirit, blessing it with intelligence and creative capacity, two gifts very useful for human beings. Khnum was also the protector of the dead. Prayers invoking his help can be found in the Book of the Dead, as it was believed that he could help the deceased during the final judgment.
I have a feeling that we have some special boys in the chat, and the reason they're personally attacking me right now, even though they're literally on YouTube watching me talk on camera, because they're complete and total gammas, and y'all need to grow up because y'all are clown shows in my chat. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even want you here, so just leave, bro. Just leave. I don't care if you don't like me. So anyway, the problem is the special boys, like, they think they're special because they think that some of this Egyptian mythology is the one true religion, right? And they think that they figured out the secrets. Oh, the Book of the Dead. Thoth, the Book of Secrets. Oh, the Emerald Tablets. Oh, the Babylonian Tablets. Oh, the Akkadian Sumerian Tablets. I'm the special boy. I figured it out. We're all gods. We're all gods. So whenever I'm bashing on Egyptian mythology right here, they're spiraling. This is probably not the place for you then, bro. It's probably not the place for you then. Why don't you just go somewhere else that will support what your bias is? Why are you here, bro? Why are you here, bro? You're watching me sit in my living room in a recliner and rant. So we're going to break spells, dude. Just leave or stop. In a world.
Believing in the afterlife also influenced many aspects of Egyptian daily life. Funerals had several rituals to mark the passing of the deceased. The Egyptians attempted to support the goddess Anput to guide them during the funeral rituals. Anput was the goddess of mummification and Anubis, the feared god of the dead. Anput was depicted wearing a crown with an ornament symbolizing a jackal. In rarer representations, she appears as having a jackal head, just like her husband Anubis. Another particularly important deity in funeral matters was the goddess Serket. She is one of Egypt's oldest goddesses and was depicted as a hybrid between woman and scorpion. She had a strong connection with medicine.
Whoa, that really sounded like my ex.
Another particularly important deity in funeral matters was the goddess Serket. She is one of Egypt's oldest goddesses and was depicted as a hybrid between woman and scorpion. She had a strong connection with medicine, particularly for treatments against bites and stings from poisonous animals. The Egyptians made prayers and sacrifices for Serket to protect them against snake and scorpion attacks. However, the goddess could also punish sinners by sending her venomous animals to attack them. Serket protected the soul of the deceased pharaohs, guiding them to the underworld. She also helped in the process of rebirth of the pharaoh, blowing the...
I wonder where this comes from. Where you got Cardi B wearing, and all these crazy little scuzzies wearing these really long nails. I wonder where that comes from.
Breath of life into his...
It's the Jezebel spirit. That's what it is. Some of you little Gamma Squirt boys, probably the one that won't get out of my chat talking about nonsense, are probably like attracted to the cartoon here or something, right? Like, let's not listen to the special boys. This is the origin of the Jezebel spirit, bro. What is that? What?
Pharaohs, guiding them to the underworld. She also helped in the process of rebirth of the pharaoh, blowing the breath of life into his new mortal bodies. For this, it was common to find Serket's paintings in the mummification halls and sarcophagi of the nobility. The goddess Anat was an important divinity, mainly worshipped in Upper Egypt. Her cult gained strength during the period known as the Middle Empire, when Egypt was under the rule of the Hyksos, a Semitic Asian people. Anat originated in ancient Canaanite religion, and despite being a goddess of a foreign culture, she was positively welcomed by the Egyptians, to the point that the famous pharaoh Ramses II adopted Anat as her personal guardian and protector in battle.
You're wearing
Anat
makeup,
was
bro. You're not
depicted
hard.
as a beautiful woman, wearing a crown adorned with ostrich feathers. Albeit her noble appearance, the goddess was revered as an entity focused on fertility and carnal desires, besides having a violent and unpredictable character. She took pleasure in war and almost always carried a spear and a bronze club. Curiously, Anand also sought to promote peace agreements after battles. Another important aspect of Egyptian society was war. During their history, the Egyptians fought against peoples like the Libyans, Nubians, Hittites, and many others.
Oh, Hittites. The Hittites track back to the Aryans. Must be the COVID. The Hittites track back to the Aryans. The original nobility in Egypt were the Aryans, most of which had fair skin, which doesn't matter. And if you think it does, you're a clown. So, but the point is that they hid that. They told you that they were all dark skinned. Why'd they lie to us about Egypt? If it's all just a mythos and people just built pyramids with 30 years of pulley systems and slave labor, then why would they have to lie? Why would they lie? Why would they lie? Because they don't want you to know the truth here, right? Typically, I hate the question, why would they lie? Because people just dismiss objectivity and empirical evidence because they want to say, why would they lie? Why would they lie? Why would they not lie, bro? You're a clown show. But the point is, they lied to you about Egypt on so many levels. It is crazy. For one, they told you it was just a mythos, just a mythology. Very primitive humans trying to express the inexplicable by saying that they were going to actually express and identify with detail what the gods were. An impossible task. They were just primitive, looking at nature, trying to explain what they couldn't explain, and what eluded their grasp they always attributed to some type of god. Well, it's simple enough, right? They built the pyramids that we can't recreate today and were clearly used for electricity with pulley systems and 30 years of slave labor. Yeah, that checks out. Oh, they needed a certain type of stone that was 500 miles away over the Nile River. Oh, no big deal. They brought tons and tons of stones 500 miles over the freaking Nile River, and they were just real primitive, wearing sandals with, like, you know, pulley systems on their backs. Like, no big deal here. But it's even deeper than that, because the mythos that they are attributed to, they were real depictions, right? And over the course of the years, they just kept depicting them. They simmed down. Even the offspring simmed down, right? So there were still offspring from the Watchers stemming down through the Egyptians. And it wasn't a mythos. And the first people that were there were Aryans. They tracked back to the antediluvian era, which means pre-flood, which is Atlantis, the sun worshippers, the sun gods. This comes back into the special boys that think that post-flood, they had their second reign. This is Nimrod. So you have this whole era going on here where they tell you a bunch of things as mythos, but it's not. It was crazy back in the day, and they want to do it again. And if you don't accept it, that doesn't actually change anything. So in a world.
With so many enemies willing to invade the Egyptian lands, a divine intervention in favor of the Egyptians was much needed. The god Anhor was an ancient god of war, patron of the Egyptian army, and protector of warriors. Sometimes he is portrayed as a strong man carrying a spear, but his most...
By the way, the Antichrist is described as a lion. And he will have two wings of the bird. That represents America. That's our seal. And that's why Trump looks like he could be the grabbler of all grabblers. How do you... Dlive question. How do you think they built the pyramids, Austin? Numerous different things. Some people think Enoch actually helped build them with the help of angels. They may have just used ancient esoteric knowledge brought by the Watchers, and that's why they think they're special boys. They call themselves Masons, because building very beautiful structures and manipulating the stones in a very effective way is like the pinnacle of basically advancements regarding, you know, architecture that we can't even really imitate this day, it appears. So there's no telling, right? Like, were they guided by the Watchers, or because they're like revered, because Enoch's name is basically encrypted into the pyramids and their dimensions. So some say the angels helped Enoch build it, and then they took it over and they're inverting it. I don't know, or they helped build it. To be honest with you, there's really no way to know how were they built. I think that they used things like magnetic levitation, and they knew how to manipulate, minerals way more than we do now. I think it's always all pretty simple. And they got these stones across. They just used magnetic levitation, and then it was built as generators. We'll talk about the pyramids in a second.
Famous depiction is that of a man with a lion's head, symbolizing strength and courage. Anhor also had to protect his father, Ra, the sun god. Anhor stood in front of Ra's solar barge to defend it against the attacks of the terrible snake Apophis, earning Anhor the epithet Killer of Enemies. Albeit a god of war, Anhor was not always violent. He was responsible for stimulating creativity in humans. During the festivals held in his honor, battles and heroic acts were emulated to glorify the lion god. Like humans, not all Egyptian gods could be classified as good or bad. Some had bipolar and unexpected behavior, The goddess Tauret was to
They were
protect.
all evil, bro. But they came and they brought you. Maybe people need to hear this. I don't know. Sometimes I just assume people are with me more than they maybe are. Like, they were all evil. They all had the intentions of deceiving, right? I threw this in like a freestyle a couple days ago. It's like before they hid all the evidence, they came down, claimed they were heaven sent, brought gifts, tricks, secrets. Yeah. So before they hid all the evidence, they came down, claimed they were heaven sent, brought gifts, tricks, secrets, and messages, hit us with deceptions quick, claimed they were gifts from the guys they would bless them with, right? So they came down with pure intentions of deception, right? But this is how they did it. And this is the part. That's why I came over here to talk to you guys. Look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes. Okay, this is the thing that's going to happen again. The trick, even though they hate you, and this is just deception, they just want to be worshipped, right? The whole trick is they give you enlightening principles. They do not start breathing fire and say, murder your firstborn. They give you enlightening principles. I'm the goddess of wisdom. Is wisdom bad? No. I'm the goddess of love. Is love bad? No. I'm the goddess of kindness. Is kindness bad? No. So they give you enlightening principles, right? They masquerade as light. That's how they get you, bro. It's like, it's going to happen again. All the little special boys in my chat right here, they're going to fall for it super fast. What's this clown show's name? I'm not going to stoop to his level, but he's going to fall for it because he thinks he's a special boy. So when they come and they say, we're all gods. The aliens, the watchers, however they do it, we're all gods. You're a god. You are a special boy, right? And the gammas are just going to run wild. They're just going to, yeah, I knew I was a special boy. Right. And so that's what's going to happen, bro. Like, you people are going to fall for it hook, line, and sinker because of your ego. And you think that you're the special boy. So we're all gods. We're all enlightened. Here, one world religion. Oh, you tired of debt? Don't you worry. One world currency. Everything's just we're going to unify under love. We've been trying to spiritually evolve to this point for thousands of years. Maybe aliens step in and they say, we used to be like you guys. And we've just been sitting back waiting until you got to the spiritual point where you were ready to take the next step like we once did before we were in the state that we are now. You are all gods, but you've yet to realize your potential. You have tons of power within you, right? You can actually operate within the metaphysical realm. You can actually project into the metaphysical realm. You can actually perform alchemy. You can do all kinds. This stuff is real. You can do that kind of stuff, by the way, right? This is where you become a god. Now, first step, we got to put our differences aside, ensure world peace and prosperity, and all come together under love and unity and enlightenment of oneself. And then transmutation, alchemy of oneself will be attained, and you can be a god. You can be a special boy. This is the sales pitch. This is the secret trick that gets everyone in the end. And so we have flat earthers that will fall for it, guaranteed, because they think they're the special boys and they're so enlightened, right? So they think they'll never fall for it, but they will fall for it. The deception will be so great that if it were possible, even the elect would be deceived. You just think you know everything. So somebody needed to hear that. And I guess I didn't think I needed to say stuff like this either, but guys, say I'll read your comment, right? And then I get like real assertive with the response. It's not even necessarily to you, like 99% of the time. Now, to the gamma spiraling in my chat, it was obviously. But normally, it's just like a line of thought. And I start remembering conversations I have with someone else. And I start to like articulate my frustrations with certain parts of the argument. That's all. So, everyone just, it's all good. We're all family in a world.
Expected behavior. The goddess Tauret was the protector of women and help them during labor, improving the health of both mother and newborn baby. The name Tauret means the Great One. Her most common representation is that of a hybrid creature, divided between hippopotamus, crocodile, and lion, three of the animals most feared and respected by the Egyptians. Tauret's cult originated during the ancient empire, but most evidence points out that it was a domestic deity, since no temples in her honor were found, but a large number of statues were encountered in the horns of the ancient Egyptians. Pregnant women often carry with them an amulet depicting the goddess. Although Tauret was a motherly figure, She could also manifest as a very dangerous and demonic force, bringing deadly diseases and bad luck to those who would incite her anger. Even with the gods supervising their creations, it would be impossible to maintain life, were it not for the existence of a suitable air for breathing. The god Shu oversaw light, air, and winds in our world.
Oh, who's the prince of the air?
Eliminating the primordial darkness that enveloped the world, separating day and night, and the world of the living from the world of the dead. As the god of the air, he represented the diving space between sky and earth, with the clouds being considered as his bones. One of the most powerful gods in Egyptian mythology was equally one of the most mysterious. Ptah was the primordial god of creation. He would have created himself and then the universe, using only his thought. Ptah was described as a mummified man, holding a scepter, symbol of his royalty and authority. He was the patron of masons, sculptors, carpenters, and painters, providing his followers with the knowledge and inspiration to conduct beautiful architectural works. Ptah's construction and architecture abilities were compared to the Greek god Hephaestus.
Oh, what a picture. I should make this a thumbnail, bro.
Ptah was worshipped everywhere.
I should make this the Clash of the Titans thumbnail.
Egypt, but was particularly popular in the cities of Memphis and Heliopolis, where he was seen as the creator of all things,
Memphis,
giving rise to the concept of a god as the great architect of the universe, something that will become popular in other religions.
The great architect of the universe and the prince of the air. Oh, sounds familiar. I've actually held in my hand a Masonic Bible of the higher degrees where it's flooded with Egyptian quote-unquote mythology throughout the whole entire book. Oh, but they believe in the Bible, though, yeah.
The number and variety of gods are so vast that historians believe that some deities of the ancient Egyptian pantheon have yet to be discovered. Ultimately, the Egyptian mythology will continue to entice future generations by keeping alive the stories of the Egyptian gods.
Do you want to bow down to these giant figures? I don't. So, yeah, what's up, guys? Basically, in summary, everything's a lie, and you don't know everything you think you know. Let's look at some of these pictures. You ever seen these wings before? Yeah, of course you have. It's all over the place, symbolic of all these countries. Oh, here we go. Amon, Anubis, Isis, Osiris. Oh, okay. Isis has some wings. She's a little wing woman. This seems far-fetched, but the Watchers actually, their sexual thirst became insatiable, and they actually turned to the birds and the creatures. Yeah, trust me, I get it. It's weird. So you think this is fake? You think that the bird thing is fake? But maybe it's not, and maybe that's why they literally worshipped them and did whatever they wanted to do, and the Grabblers to this day still worship them. They're obsessed with their ability to build. That's why they're called Masons. I think they're special boys. We got people in the chat probably think they know something about this guy, and that makes them a special boy, and they're enlightened. Like even the way that they communicated, right? Like has their goddesses in it. This was everything that they knew to be true. And we've been told this is all fake. Even though that they built things we can't build. Yeah. Cool story. Oh, they had light bulbs back then. Probably just coincidence. Oh, the pyramids were found with 2 inches of sea salt in it. Probably just coincidence. The flood couldn't happen because that would mean I'm not a special boy anymore because I said the Bible was wrong. This is who they deified. I'm not going to pummel you over the head with it, accept it or don't accept it. Here's the depiction of the earth. They thought that the stars were embedded in the firmament. That was some type of goddess because that's what the Watchers told them. Oh, I wonder if you're even seeing these pictures as I click on them. You're probably not. Sorry, I thought that you were seeing the pictures as I clicked on them. This is the real trick, all the goddess thing, because like think about how thirsty little gammas we have running around here that like if they see a girl that's like a 6, they just like just start squirting everywhere because they have literally no restraint or any morality at all. But if they were to pull out some like metaphysical trick of sensual pleasure regarding like the ideas of like metaphysical goddesses that can be attained via types of like astral projection or whatever, anything like that. Dude, this civilization, this generation is primed to take the bait, bro. Like primed to take it. This sounds like a fairy tale to you, but I know a lot of you guys, you're so stuck in depravity. Like this is like some sexual fantasy of yours, and you know, this is why they fell for it back in the day. I knew I couldn't trust cats. I do like cats, but they do walk around like they were in a priest in a past life or something. You like owe them everything. Anyway, moving on. The 10 most worshipped ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses. Amun-Ra. Why do you say amen? As Zeus was to the Greeks, the Egyptian god Amun-Ra, or Amen, was considered the king of the gods and goddesses. He became Amun-Ra after being amalgamated with the sun god Ra. He was thought to be the father of the pharaohs, and his female counterpart Amunet was called the female hidden one, forming the Theban triad Amun and Mut. I'm terrible with these words. Along with their son something, the moon god, were worshipped throughout ancient Egypt. Amun was not only worshipped in Egypt, but outside Egypt as well. Yeah, of course he was. As Zeus was to the Greeks, the Egyptian god Amun-Ra was considered the king of gods and goddesses. This is the same character. He became after he amalgamated with the sun god. Blah, 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 blah. His female counterpart was called the female hidden one. So this comes back to mother, father. You add the metaphysical for the Trinity, the Gnostic Trinity, Baphomet, attaining duality, mastering duality. The gods came into the form which they could show you the purest form of both duality, supposedly, if you're following what I'm saying. Mut, that's what I'm going to call it, even though it's probably mute. Mut means mother in Egyptian, and Mut is a primal deity who wears 2 crowns on her head, each representing Upper and Lower Egypt, also titled She Who Gives Birth, but was herself not born of any. Mut, she's a Mut, is represented as a vulture in hieroglyphs. She's variously integrated with other deities and often portrayed as a cat, cobra, cow, and even a lioness, the mother of something. Mut and her different associations were worshipped by numerous different pharaohs. Oh, who is this? The primal deity. Okay. Osiris, the king of the living. These are all real characters that used to exist. They're going to come back. That's the whole thing. That's my take. That's why I'm covering it. Considering the oldest child of the earth, God, Zeb, and sky goddess, Nut. I was going to say Newt that time. Osiris was worshipped as the god of the afterlife, as the ancient Egyptians believed that there was life after death. Often portrayed with green skin, Osiris was the god of vegetation, which indicated renewal and growth, and was thought to be responsible for the fertile flooding and vegetation around the banks of the Nile. This is why you take an evergreen, which is year-round green, as a shout out to the agricultural god Nimrod, or Osiris, and then you bring it in there and you decorate it to revere the agricultural god Nimrod, or Osiris, for about to bring the new season about. Despite being murdered by his own brother, Osiris was brought back to life by the magic of Isis to conceive a child. Horus is the son of Osiris and Isis, who avenged his father's death and arose as a new pharaoh of Egypt, while Osiris became the god of the underworld and assisted in the afterlife of the pharaohs and the people. Okay, this stuff really happened. This is like a Grabbler take on it. It's the wizardry take on it, because these stories came from and were guided by the Watchers themselves, the divine embalmer. Before Osiris took over, Anubis patrolled the underworld. Anubis was a psychopomp, or deity, who assists in the afterlife and the afterspring of Ra and something. He was known for mummifying the dead and guiding their souls towards the afterlife. His skin was black, symbolizing the dark Nile deposits, which made the land so fertile. With the head of a jackal and the body of a man, Anubis also stood for renaissance and staining of dead bodies after the embalming process. Oh, must be nice. Or we're just going to go on. Ra, god of the sun and radiance. The midday sun, Ra, is a great importance in Egyptian mythology. I'm just going to read fast. Sorry. History. The god of the sun, Ra, in a world, has a sun disk where his head is believed to have created the world. Every sunrise and sunset were seen as a process of renewal, portrayed as a falcon-headed god. He and Horus shared an association that led to be known as the Horus of the horizon. Many ancient Egyptians were merged with Ra, and many were created by him, such as rival gods like Ta, Isis, and Epip. Horus, god of vengeance. These are all real characters, again, come from the Watchers. Horus had a special position in ancient Egypt, the child of Osiris and Isis. He avenged his father's death and ruled Egypt. According to myth, he is also considered the child of Zeb and Nut, and his falcon-headed god with a crown of red and white was worshipped as the god of sky, war, protection, and light. The eye of Osiris, or the Whitsitt eye, was personified as the goddess Wadjet, and was popularly known as the Eye of the Ra. It symbolized that everything was being watched from above. Oh, man. Yeah, we don't ever see illuminated eyes anywhere in modern history. An arbitrator, oh yeah, Thoth. This is you guys' little emerald tablets. This is where the real special boys think that they know everything because they read some tablets. An arbitrator who settled the disputes between good and evil, Thoth is considered as a self-created god, master of both physical and divine laws, along with his counterpart Mot. I'm saying every name wrong, I'm sure. He maintained the universe by his mastery of calculations. The ancient Egyptians acknowledged him to be an author of science, philosophy, and magic, which in modern world, these are all the exact same thing, by the way. The ibis, or baboon-headed deity, was considered to be the most learned god in ancient history, also regarded as the moon god for keeping count of time, even when the sun was not there. Thus recognized as the one who created the 365-day calendar. This is complete and total nonsense. Enoch was given this calendar a long time ago. It was 364 days, plus you have a leap week. And you don't actually follow the moon to come up with the cycle. That's what the pagans did. That's what the pagans taught, because they didn't want you to actually understand the true calendar, the true sky, the true cycle, the true nature, the true way to keep up with everything. This is because they are the watchers. They rebelled the system. They rebelled their appointed paths. They follow the rebellious angels that are called the planets. They don't want everyone else to be able to look at the sky, see it's decoded, and see that, there's actually a timeline written in the stars itself. So the watchers started this deception. They didn't want you to be able to look at the sky, so you don't know they're coming up with little secret boy fairy tale stories about how they're the gods and how they created everything and how they're the special boys. And they do the same thing today. Fast forward to 2020, people don't even know what day it is. Hathor, goddess of motherhood, sometimes called the mistress of the West. Hathor welcomed the dead into the next life, which, what does that mean? Born of Ra, she exemplified motherhood and feminine love. The ancient Egyptians offered prayer to her as the goddess of music and dance. She is believed to provide a blessing as the helper of women during pregnancy and childbirth. Affectionate, humble, and kind to both the dead and the living, she was also known as the Lady of Heaven, Earth, and the Underworld. Sekhmet, goddess of war and healing. Leading and protecting the pharaohs during war, the daughter of Ra, is depicted as a lioness and is known for her fierce character. She's also known as the powerful one and is capable of destroying the enemies of her allies. She is depicted with a solar disc and Osiris, an Egyptian cobra, which was associated with royalty and the divine. Sekhmet assisted the goddess Mot in the judgment hall of Osiris, which also gained her the reputation of arbiter. And over here, you consistently will see the story of the propping up of basically like feminine deities, right? It's the Jezebel spirit, because this is an inversion of the order of things: man, woman, child. So God, man, woman, child. But whatever. Also, Geb, god of earth, okay, also described as the father of snakes. So the god of earth has something to do with the father of snakes. This is probably all just coincidence, and the Egyptians were probably in on the little Luciferian trick before Luciferianism was even a doctrine that it is to be known as today. I bet you the Egyptians were in on it, though. And whenever I got to hold a Masonic Bible in my hand itself, and it's flooded with Egyptian mythology, probably just a coincidence. They probably think it's a myth, even though they think they're special boys and don't tell you anything that they truly believe. But moving on, also described as the father of snakes, Geb represents crops and healing. With a goose on his head, the bearded god was believed to have caused earthquakes wherever he left. That sounds stupid. He was the son of Shu, the god of air, and Tefnut, the goddess of moisture, and had an important role in the Book of the Dead as the one who weighs the heart of the dead in the judgment hall of Osiris. Osiris doesn't get to judge it, though, does he? Oh, what a clown show. The ancient Egyptians believed that he retained the souls of the wicked. Osiris is Nimrod. Conclusion: in ancient Egypt, gods and goddesses were the depiction of all the fundamental necessities required for sustaining life. Many cults developed and many associations were made because of the interconnection between these life requirements. But simply, anything that made life possible was represented by an ancient Egyptian god or goddess. Now, this is what they want you to think, but really, they came down. There was numerous figures, and then they gave you the main 10. Well, how many chiefs were there? There were 10 chiefs. Which these are not the actual perfect 10 chiefs, but anyway, there were 10 chiefs. That's why, there's 10 prominent figures. The mainstream's trying to tell you about, because they got to put a little bit of truth in plain sight. The person that wrote this article has no idea that they're propagating a lie, obviously. So just get out of here with that nonsense. Okay, so basically, I hated to have to hit you with like history class there, but very simply, all of these depictions that have been, hand-waved, dismissed, and written off as some, again, primitive way to try to explain the inexpressible, the inexplicable of creation, were actually true stories that came from deceptions. I tell you what I think, right? And I don't really care anymore, right? I mean, it's just what it is. You might want to. It's easier for you to think that. Think about this. I say, guys, we were lied to about the ancient civilizations. Let's use Egypt, for example. They were much more advanced than we were told. For one, the first civilization actually wasn't even who we were told they were. They had fair skin and blonde hair and blue eyes and red hair, and they came from all around the world. They were the noble classes. No big deal. Guys, Egypt isn't what we were told. We were told they were very primitive. And the way that they built the pyramids, that we still cannot recreate the way that they were built today, they used pulley systems over the course of 30 years of 24-hour around-the-clock slave labor. Okay, that doesn't really add up, does it? Okay, they had tons and tons and tons and tons of a certain type of rock they had to get back to the pyramid location from over 500 miles away, including over the Nile. They couldn't do that with what they told us that they had. Oh, there's nothing to see here. Let's just move on. So these monolithic and metallithic structures have lasted for thousands of years. They're still in line with the sky. We have the pyramids. We have the Sphinx. We have all kinds of things that clearly predate the Pharaoh timeline that they told us about. The first Pharaoh they attribute to us, they told us, the Pharaoh says there were 7 primary rulers prior to that. 7. How many planets are there? Once again, how many rebellious angels are there? So what they would do is they would lead a pharaoh for their time period, and they're doing the same thing here, right? And so you wonder why the conjunction is so important and stuff. There you go. Do you think there's anything that could be done that would make him stop talking? Are you talking about me? Or this other guy? I don't know who you're talking about. Oh, what's up, Dlive? I don't want to be a special boy. I just want to know the truth. Oh, there you go. That's good, bro. Ban him. Who are we trying to ban? Who do we need to ban? Y'all just tell me how to ban him. I don't know if we have any mods in here. I don't really see any mods in here. How do we not have one mod in here? That is wild. Everyone wants you banned. I don't know who you are, though, yet, so. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Everything's going to be okay. You know, there's nothing, no big deal here. Yeah, my whole gist of the stream here was just, it's on the cuff. Like I said, I was hanging out with someone, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out who everyone's talking about. But yeah, it's just real simple. Like what people say are mythos or not. I'll drop the StreamYard link if anyone wants to jump on and chat in a second. I think they have some pyramid gravy or Egyptian gravy or anything like that, like mythos gravy. That's how it pertains to they were actually real and it's not a mythos. Yeah, there you go. Whoever is not down with the program, keep talking, Austin. I'm digging it. I don't know who the guy is, so I think Bob's here now, so Bob will probably help us out. I am the special boy with squirt signs. Thanks for the super chat, man. Chill with the squirts. Honor of Kings is great also. All gods in different places are the same dudes and chicks on different gigs. Pretty much. You're on the right path, you know. You're on the right path. All the polytheistic religions all stem back to the same thing with different expressions, different languages, but that is not all of it, right? It's not just that simple. There's something else to it. There's something else to it, guys. You know what it is? You know what it is? The Watchers came down and they hate Yeshua, and Yeshua was real. Oh, dun. Oh, man. Austin, you're so stupid. You believe in the Bible. I just believe in people with lab coats that think that concepts can bend. You're so stupid, Austin. Dun. Sorry, guys. I drink an energy drink. It's like I said, I like... fell asleep because I had to take a nap. I was like super tired. That's why I'm so late. Sorry for being so late. I didn't want to leave y'all hanging on Mythmas. So I just came and kicked it with you guys, you know. I won't keep making streams this late though. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. What is all right, let's watch. Let's watch this, bro. Let's watch. In a world.
Abydos, Egypt, 7 miles west of the Nile. Within this expansive archaeological site lies the ruins of the Osiris Hall, where thousands would gather to worship the god of the underworld. In comparison to many of the gods, Osiris was actually thought to have lived physically on Earth as one of Egypt's pharaohs. He is often depicted with a winged disk of the sun.
This guy's such an idiot, in case you don't know. This is Ancient Aliens. Let me come give you all the preface for this. If somehow you don't know, Ancient... Because I know not... sorry, I'm like crying. I was laughing. But, not everybody in my chat's a flat earther, you know? Like, I like having people here that aren't just flat earthers, and I don't know why it was so funny to me. It's just so funny. I've heard that dude talk too many times. He's such an idiot. But anyway, the point that I'm making is that Ancient Aliens has been like on syndicated mainstream television for what, like over 10 years now. It's over a decade, like 12 years or something. So this was all, you know, you should know what that was, but it was just controlled opposition to damage control. The fact that people were starting to wake up to a bunch of the lies, for example, what they said that we do when we go to space. And more so specifically, we were starting to find out a lot about our past where we've been lied to. So what they do is they create ancient aliens, because, you know, that's what the government does, guys. When they lie to you for decades and decades, they just come out on mainstream television and give you a mainstream TV show to tell you that they lied to you and then just give you the full truth. Why would we ever not just blindly trust the person that lied to us before as they come and admit they lied and then just blindly believe they're telling us the truth now? Because they would never lie to me again, right? Like, they love you guys. So anyway, this is just a disinformation campaign so that people could start to have like answers for some of these questions that are very founded in logic as to how could you possibly build the pyramids with this, with, you know, the mechanisms that they said that they did. You couldn't. So it's just disinformation, but they do cover a bunch of things that have seeped out. Like, they don't bring like earth-shattering information to declassify it to the world. Like, someone else finds out about it, and then they cover it on Ancient Aliens with a psyop, with a controlled opposition misinformation story. But anyway, moving on. In a world.
And while many scholars have suggested that this is nothing else but to worship the sun, that sun, as far as the Egyptians were concerned, also had wings, and it descended from the sky.
Hey, should I say in a clown world? Nah, that's too much.
Also had wings, and it descended from the sky. So in my opinion, something else was depicted.
Sorry about the pauses. Thank you for the gift subs in Dlive. Nico Bear, you're awesome. And if you haven't yet and you're on YouTube, just migrate your way over to Dlive and hit me with a follow. After tomorrow, I guess, maybe tomorrow, I guess y'all might be busy celebrating pagan holidays or whatever, but maybe tomorrow I'll start doing Dlive only streams until the end of the month or something, because we're going to have to get that up to 1,000. See if there's any chats I should read. Demons are Nephilim ghosts. Yes, demons, quote unquote, are disembodied spirits of the Nephilim, not the Watchers. They're nothing like that. They're disembodied. They don't know anything. They walk around aimlessly, hopelessly. They're hungry and thirsty, but can't eat or drink. It's miserable for them. It sucks. I feel bad for them almost, because they're not the ones that chose to be born. But then again, Enoch came and tried to arbitrate on their behalf and try to, work out some way that they would repent. And they laughed at him and mocked him and said he was stupid. They would never touch him because he knew he was elect in that side of God. So there you go. Gonna need to buy some Dlive diamonds, guys. In a world where no one knows what the world is, and everyone thinks that aliens came down, they ignore the possibility it was in fact the Watchers.
Egyptians were concerned also had wings, and it descended from the sky. So in my opinion, something else was depicted, an extraterrestrial event that in fact took place in real life.
Like, dude, you got to know this guy's a goober from the rip. Like, what are you wearing? What are you wearing, dude? I don't like you. I'm going to let this play through. I don't think history... I've been pausing a lot because history's hit me with strikes before. But, dude, it's a 3-minute clip of your stupid, dumbass show. Sorry for cussing. And so we're allowed to watch 3 minutes of it uninterrupted. It's only going to be 2 minutes now. I'm just going to play it through. Obviously, you have to use the term. Everything he's saying is stupid. Keep in mind, this is all about the Watchers. This is an misinformation campaign to cover up the fact that the Watchers came down, but they're coming back. So they don't want you to know that. So they got to come up with anything they can, including intergalactic travel of extraterrestrial civilizations in a medium that defies physics.
Place in real life.
Although most ancient astronaut theorists believe that the Egyptian gods were, in reality, extraterrestrial visitors, there are many who wonder if Osiris was even made of flesh and blood.
One of the most famous stories that go hand in hand with Osiris was that he was dismembered by his jealous brother Seth.
Set went into a fury and tore his brother's dead body to shreds, tore it into 14 pieces, had it scattered far and wide all over the kingdom. But Isis, the loyal wife, searched far and wide and found the pieces and pulled it together.
Isis succeeded in resurrecting him. Now, when I hear a
That sounds crazy. I don't know about that part. I wasn't there, but just to clarify for everyone here, he was dismembered into 14 pieces, but of course she only found 13. That's why you have 13 colonies, and they built the Washington Monument to represent the 14th symbol. It's a phallus symbol. It's literally about his penis. Literally, that's what the Washington Monument is. That's what phallus symbols are. It's referencing, it's in reverence to Osiris and his penis. So America was founded, 13 colonies, because of the 13 pieces that were founded, and then they built and erected, see what I did there? Erected a phallus symbol, because that's the 14th piece. Moving on, in a world where everyone thinks they live on a magic spinning cartoon ball that defies physics, where water bends convexly around the exterior of a spinning object, going 11 vectors in a vacuum, brought to you by Jesuit priests, gammas run wild.
story like that a being is dismembered and then somebody puts together those pieces and then they're able to magically resurrect him, I have to ask the question, is it possible that Osiris was not some type of biological entity, but perhaps he was some type of a machine or a robot?
Guys, truth in freaking plain sight, dude. I've never seen this video, Everything on Ancient Aliens, is for a reason, bro. $10 super chat for my boy Sativa and me, always down to help the cause. Thank you very much, bro. I'm gonna hit you with a dab. Maybe I should stop dabbing. Maybe there's something weird about that. I don't know. Too many people do it. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Steve and me, you're a legend. Much appreciated. And shout out to all the legends in Dlive dropping limits. We got Prognostic at the lead. We got Nico Bear trailing in second place. And then we got Matt Prince, my man's, in third place. Thank you for all the limits. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the subs. You are legends. Thank you to the 65 people that are kicking with us on Dlive. We're at 815 subs. So we're just, 185 away. No big deal. Anyway, like I was trying to say, we're looking at, well, who's the Antichrist? What's up with the Antichrist? Well, the Antichrist has to take their final form. If they want Nimrod to reign again, well, he's going to have to be 2/3 God and 1/3 humans. What's that mean? Oh, maybe he'll integrate himself with artificial intelligence using the CERN Hadron Collider, which is not actually doing what it says it does because subatomic particles is pseudoscience and never been verified or validated in any empirical way ever. Never will be because it's pseudoscience, and everything is just filled. Everything's pressure mediation. There's no such thing as a material subatomic particle, but I digress. Anyway, they're building these all over the place. They got Nike building one, Apple building one. They're building them strategically, geographically, so that they can actually have a network system. They put Starlinks up there to connect the network system all around the place. And they're putting these towers all over the place to create the surveillance system. And really what a Hadron Collider is doing is it's dealing with the heat of excess energy, because to use some of these powerful computers, you have to very, very cold climate. They're going to use this to integrate it with some type of figure and make them like a superhuman where he can predict the future, see the past, tell you secrets about the past, heal you, do miracles, create electricity, figure out problems instantaneously, give the illusion of omnipotence because it's using the algorithmic deduction of a supercomputer. And this is maybe what happened before. And in the Bible, when it says there's nothing new under the sun, I think the scriptures are true because I'm not so arrogant. I think I know everything. They've been heavily grabbled, but I've prayed about it a lot. And there's nothing new under the sun. I don't think that was just loosely thrown out there. This has all happened before. It's going to happen again. And they're coming out to hit you with misinformation. It's some type of robot from the sky. The aliens came and made him a robot. Ooh, the Terminator came from Jupiter, a gas planet in a vacuum, and then came and kicked it with us. And they're going to come back, guys. Aren't you excited? That's what this is. This is like, they always have to put some truth out there. And these creepy, stupid people talking about it probably have no idea who wrote the script. They just follow it. In a world. All that to say was, this is what I'm expecting the Antichrist to do right here, is to be some type of robot. Like, I'm not even joking.
Not some type of biological entity, but perhaps he was some type of a machine or a robot.
My man, Glowbusters Flat Earth with a Ninja Genie. Thank you, my man. You are a legend. Much appreciated. Yeah. Thank you, Bob. All right.
For ancient astronaut theorists, perhaps the strongest evidence that Osiris may have been a robot can be found in the ancient pyramid texts, which describe the symbol of the jet pillar as Osiris's spine. Osiris in his resurrected form was portrayed as a pillar that clearly resembles a symbol of the can be found in the ancient pyramid texts, which describe the symbol of the jet pillar as Osiris's spine. Osiris in his resurrected form was portrayed as a pillar that clearly resembles a modern-day Tesla coil. The jet pillar was considered a power pillar. In this one carving at Abydos, it is as if Isis has her hand inserted into Osiris's back. And so perhaps it illustrates how she was manipulating Osiris. Could it be that the story of Osiris is something completely different than what we have thought?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, you little creepy grabbler sodomite squirt boy. It is. My boy Bob brought up a good connection here in the chat. I wonder who these guys are. I wonder who the Transformers are. No, man. Who are these guys representing? They're giant. They're robots. I don't know. Austin, you're crazy. Okay, so this whole movie is about the freaking Watchers, bro. This is what it's about. Oh, they come from intergalactic areas to come save the Earth. Yeah, they're giants and they're robots and they're here for the good of mankind, just like the Matrix inverted it. These are actually here to help you, right? But they are not. They are not. I could probably break down the Transformers movies pretty well, too, to be honest. I don't really watch movies. But I can go ahead and tell you what this is about, dude. This is about the Watchers and how they were giants, and they want to bring them back. And they're making movies over and over the last, like, 20, 30 years about how they're going to come back, and no one knows, and then they're going to fall for it when they come back. So who are these guys?
As an Earth vacation.
I bet I can listen to, watch, we're going to break unplanned. You just saw me YouTube it. 45 seconds. I guarantee you there is some wizard spell in this last 45 seconds of this clip that I can catch. This is how grabbled every movie is. I'm very confident.
Have asked us to play by their rules.
Oh, we don't want to play by their rules, right? We had to buck the system. We have our own rules. We bucked out of heaven.
Well, the rules have just changed.
Oh, we're the special boys. We changed the rules because we got to buck the system.
Human beings, bunch of backstabbing weasels.
Oh, you used to revere us. How are some of you not listening? No, you human beings, you're so beneath us. We are the gods.
Find your inner compass. Loyalty's about to flower in the wings of fear and temptation. What the hell are you saying? It's a haiku. Cut the crap before
This is going to resemble like one of the little special boys. They're supposed to be like enlightened, full of wisdom.
saying. It's a haiku. Cut the crap before I drop a grenade down your throat. Try it. You can tell. Oh, please pull it. Please do it.
You know what? Just save us so much time.
Well, raise your hand if you're thoroughly disenchanted with our little pleasant Earth vacation. So this is...
Oh, our little pleasant Earth vacation where they came and they lost. They were disenchanted. We got to come back and do it right.
Stowaways.
Oh, hey, what's with the gun?
Stop how, both of you. They've risked their lives for mine. We owe them.
Oh, they risked their lives for mine. Oh, you want to risk your lives for the creepy little watcher grabblers? All right, there you go. I just broke a little bit of that spell, right? Everything's a spell, bro. Everything's about the freaking watchers, bro. Everything is about the watchers. Oh, my man, Brian Stavely got a sub. What's up, bro? Brian's obviously a legend. Thanks for kicking it, bro. Hey, Redford Bear, do you know how to buy yourself a resub? It only lets me gift. I don't know how any of that works. Like when I went and subbed to like Jaren and Brian and Karen and Owen yesterday. Some of them would let me like I could set up a year for a different price. I don't remember. I just like I think I just signed years on everybody. I don't remember. I want to gift myself a sub on Owen's channel. I don't know if that's possible, bro. Okay, cool. Anyone got any questions? I'm going to drop the link if anyone wants to come on here and chat. Try and make it about this subject, though, if you don't mind. They see you when you're sleeping. Yeah, how creepy is that, Twit? Let's be real. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. I don't remember the rest. You better be good for goodness sake or something stupid. Like, he knows when you're sleeping and knows when you're awake. What a creepy pedophile. What a creep. What are you talking about? He knows when I'm asleep. Why? What are you doing, Santa, you creepy pedophile that's clearly resembling Satan? What are you watching me while I'm sleeping for? Oh, this is the moment in where all the parents across the world are tricking their children while they use their hard-earned money to buy them gifts and then say that Satan got it for them. Which is basically teach them like natural law of materialistic thinking and Luciferianism when they're like 5 years old. They don't have to know what they're doing because we don't even know what we're teaching them to do because we just watch the news. He knows if you've been good or bad, so be good for goodness sake. What a joke. I thought about doing, and I might actually drop a freestyle tomorrow over a Christmas beat. And just like murder Christmas. Mythmas. It's going to be funny. I think I'm going to do it. Yeah, because it's like on this app, it's got a Christmas beat. I'm just going to murder Christmas and drop a new freestyle tomorrow, maybe, if I have time. And people needed spells broken. That's why I say it's like there are good and bad things. Or like I was talking to my little sister, and I'm like, look, you gotta understand. Like this might, y'all don't want to hear my opinion, but you know, here it is, right? And I'm FaceTiming her. I'm like, you know, it might be a good thing. Like God's like making people kind of step back and Christmas is difficult this year, and maybe they're gonna start figuring out what's going on, right? Maybe they'll start putting stuff together. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, Mythmas beats. Yeah, I should label the song Mythmas for sure. And just break down. It's all about Saturn. Christmas is all about Saturn. Christmas about Saturn. You can't see the patterns. There we go. There's the hook. Do it. What's the subject? Oh, how everything that we were told that are just myths, they're actually like real life, literal depictions of what happened back in the day. And we started figuring it out. So what they did was they created ancient aliens, et cetera, to tell you that these are actually just aliens. Yeah, they did look crazy. They did depict them different because they actually looked crazy, but it's just because they were aliens. Oh, so I'm crazy for saying that they were the Watchers, with the most historically accurate compilation of scriptures ever to exist, backing that up, along with all other geographical representations that are extra biblical and have nothing to do with Yeshua or the scriptures at all. And actually, most of these predate Yeshua, and it's all about the Watchers. And the same story was told in, like, 15, 20 different languages. Oh, the man of many names, Apollo, Osiris, Gilgamesh, Nimrod, blah, blah, blah. It's all tell the same story. I'm crazy for thinking that maybe those people knew what they were talking about, and not the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and all the Zionists that control of our education. And maybe, just maybe, they were actually more advanced than we are. And that's why we can't build what they still have there that we can't build to this day. That makes no sense. There are pyramids in North America that match pyramids all over the world. That means that they traveled all over the world. That means they communicate all over the world because they built the exact same pyramids all over the world. We can't even build the pyramids that they built, bro. And it was used for energy, used for electricity. Showing you truth in plain sight, where they hit you right over here. They hit you with this little tidbit, right? It looks just like a Tesla coil. Okay. It looks just like a Tesla coil. Right?
The jet pillar was considered a power pillar. A modern day Tesla coil.
Okay, so it doesn't even matter if that's actual. That probably has nothing to do with electricity, because they lie about everything. But the pyramids clearly were built where they could harness electricity, right? They have 2 inches of sea salt in the bottom, so it was there pre-flood, pretty obviously, dude. In addition to that, you have the sandstone, the limestone, the sandstone there's actually a natural there's a water system underneath the pyramids, okay? And so this is going to rise the level up and down, up and down, up and down. And with the sandstone, this can actually help conduct electricity, an electric charge. And then you have, of course, gold in the middle, gold is actually valued because of its magnetic permeability, which is intrinsic within the harnessing of energy or electricity. And so that's why they used gold. That's why gold was so important. They would use gold to actually help harness energy. They built it in a structure to where it would pinnacle at the top, culminate, and thus be able to be distributed. And they used granite in certain areas so that they could use it as a sealant. It's very obvious that they designed the pyramids to be used for electricity. It's way more than obvious. So they were more advanced than you were told, and they're actually literal depictions of the Watchers. And I'm crazy for saying that they're the Watchers, but there are humans that think that they're smart, and I'm crazy, but they believe stuff like this clown show telling them that it's actually aliens that came here.
Different than what we have thought.
I mean, come on, bro. Like, this clown show tells you that they're aliens, and it checks out.
We have thought. Could it be that the story of Osiris is something completely different than what we have thought?
Yeah, like, this is just damage control. Yeah, it's different than what we've been taught. They taught us lies on purpose, you clown show. Oh, there's the answer. Plus, the limestone is an insulator. Conductive, impossible. Pyramids in China are purposely buried with trees planted to hide them. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that any of us know the true meaning of the pyramid. Like, there's something that if you connect a bunch of these pyramids together, probably is crazy, right? And they're going to bring it back. They're going to bring back this infrastructure of the New World Order where it's intertwined with pyramids scattered out basically at the center hold of every location. And then who's going to be crazy then? You may have already taken the freaking mark by that point. You guys need to stop tripping, bruh. Nico Bear is handing out subs. Thank you. You are a legend. Not to rustle any feathers, but does anyone else here think that the fruit Eve ate was an apple? Not an apple, but something else? I don't think it says anything about an apple. Why'd they stop building the pyramids? You mean like just all around the world? Probably because the way they built the pyramids back in the day has a huge key to how we can harness energy, and so they've acted like just a primitive, stupid human thing to do, to like put some mud together and stack them on top of each other. It was a coincidence. Yeah, just a coincidence, bro. I didn't know. All right, I'm about to drop the link if anybody wants to jump on. I think they got some gravy. Try and keep it relevant. Tower of Babel, a way to punch through the firmament? Yeah, of course. We're just going to try to do it again. That's why Elon's up there with me for potential son of perdition, because, He straight up named his freaking project the Dragon. And like everyone seems to like this little douchebag. All right, yeah. Well, there's the link. Someone maybe will jump on, and then I'll wrap it up. God, this dude thinks he's such a special boy, man. I don't understand people. Like, you're not a special boy, man. Just chill. Jeez Louise. All right, we're going to watch another. I don't see anyone jumping in. We're going to break some more spells, and then I'm going to get out of here. I hope everyone's understanding the gist. It's very simple, right? These things you were told are myths. They're not myths. They're actual historical recollections that you've been removed from because the esoteric belief system is that they're real. That's the Gnostic belief. They keep them to themselves in their creepy little grabbler huddles where they play dress up in the dark and they do all kinds of pedophilia and crazy psychopathic stuff, allegedly. And, you know, their wives go and cheat on them while they go play dress up in the dark. And they do these creepy little rituals, and they think they're special because they got books that tell them this stuff is real. They told you it was all fake. I mean, everyone wants to think they're fake. Everyone wants to think that the Gnostics is that it's allegorical or metaphorical and blah, 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 blah. Well, no, actually, if you keep reading their literature, and you'll find out that they think this stuff is real, bro. They think it's real. That's the whole thing. That is the esoteric. The exoteric is that it's a mythos. That's the whole trick. Now, all of these stories, they come from like their gods. So they do have deep allegorical, spiritual, metaphorical meanings to them as well. That's why the deception worked for the whole world at the time and still works to this day, right? Because like they gave them truth, they just twisted it, right? So you have to understand there's layered like spiritual allegorical meaning to these characters. That doesn't mean the character themselves was allegorical, and that's kind of where we've been tricked. So in a world.
In other words, Thoth kept Egyptians in check through education.
I'm not watching this. That's the wrong one. What if I type something base in here? Or we could just slaughter freaking Easter right there. See, I typed in something base. Like, why don't you just... You just can't research base things anymore in 2020. Should we watch this one? The Watchers who oversee mankind and break the ancient aliens spell. I think I might just do that. It's real short. Because that's actually like exactly what the stream's about, is how they're lying to you about. Oh, we got the top 3 conspiracy. Let's try this one.
Akhenaten ruled in the 14th century BC and was considered a heretical pharaoh for changing the polytheistic religion of ancient Egypt. He declared there was only one god, Aten, a god he depicted as a disk in the sky.
There are so many illustrations of them painted on the temple walls, as well as granite sculptures of Akhenaten,
This little
of his
grabber.
wife Nefertiti, of their daughter Meritaten.
Yeah, by the way, these are offsprings of the Watchers.
Even King Tut was one of the children of Akhenaten and Nefertiti. There are busts of King Tut that also show an elongated skull. We're also seeing that they have a very narrow rib cage, and the distance between their neck and their waist is longer than typical humans would have on Earth. You look at this granite bust of Meritaten, where her head extends all the way back, there's no hair, and you tell me that if a guy actually made that as a mistake, that he would still be allowed to work or even allowed to finish the sculpture? He was sculpting what they really look like.
Yes, sir. Yes, he was.
Could it be that that some crop formations.
Oh, there's no way. There's just no way I'm listening to that.
Tetrahedrons.
Maybe the Watchers do this stuff.
If
Or
we
maybe it's just humans being weirdos
burn
to set up a lie.
through reconnaissance
level as a planet. Trail of bread showing us how to get to the next level
Sorry.
as a planet.
Hey, this dude's a little Aryan, bro. You're just a little Aryan. Think you're smooth, bro. You're probably in the club. That's why you're pushing aliens.
As a planet.
in 1947, when famous polar explorer Admiral Richard Byrd flew reconnaissance missions.
Hey, this is some more misinformation for all of y'all know about Admiral Byrd. Who was a Mason? Vader, where was Vader at? I saw Vader said, oh, they attacked the stream, bro. I'm showing dude, YouTube is so laughable. I think we might be back up, but and we're just gonna go to Dlive. This is perfect. Screw YouTube, dude. They can kick rocks. It comes back on here, whatever. I'm tired of playing it. I can't play stuff that's already on YouTube for like 10 seconds at a time. Fair use. They know that I can. They just want to mess the stream up live so that even if I fight it and win, which I will because it's fair use, it doesn't matter. They've already accomplished what they wanted, which is to ruin the stream. It's just ridiculous. Like, oh, I bet that we're the ones that are wrong about everything, though. That's why they have to censor us so heavily. All right, so anyway, we're just going Dlive only. Maybe our Dlive numbers will pop up. I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to come to Dlive. Yeah, I think we're back. Look, I understand that I'm playing copyright stuff, but it's like, dude, it's on YouTube, dude. I can't play a couple of seconds of a trailer. I played like less than 7 seconds of the Transformers. I've played like small increments of Ancient Aliens and skipped all through it, commentating on it, and it's on freaking YouTube, right? It's just so weird. It's so weird. But anyway, yeah, I guess we won't be able to play it anymore. I actually screwed them. I'm gonna finish this video. We're gonna break down this little lie, and they can kick rocks. So go to the Dlive if you want to stay where it doesn't interrupt. I'm not gonna cuck the stream.
When famous polar explorer Admiral Richard Byrd flew reconnaissance missions over the North Pole.
Admiral Richard Byrd was able to fly to the North Pole and back and recorded flying over lush green areas where none should have been. And then 3 years later, he flew over the South Pole.
Oh, they flew over the South Pole in this cartoon fairy tale that doesn't exist right here? I wonder why Ancient Aliens is a thing. I can't imagine. Oh, look at this fairy tale right here, dude. We're dumb for not believing this fairy tale. There's a huge ice cap at the bottom. We just aren't allowed to verify it, and there's no actual evidence for it, and you can't go across it, but I promise this is there. And I know it defies physics, but look, dude, you don't need evidence. Believe me, you little goyim.
And then 3 years later, he flew over the South Pole.
It's rumored that when Admiral Byrd's task force actually got to Antarctica, that one of the first things they discovered was an entrance into a hollow Earth civilization that was populated by very, very advanced beings.
Admiral Byrd made a lot of unusual statements, including talking about what he called a new kind of craft that could fly from pole to pole.
Is it possible that entrances to another world can be found at the Earth's poles? And if so, did Admiral Byrd actually pass through one of them? According to some ancient astronaut theorists, such gateways do exist. But rather than leading to inner Earth, they may be portals to another dimension. But whether an other Earth exists, what would its discovery mean for the future of humanity?
If we were to discover the other Earth, the place we have sought.
The other Earth. What are you clowns talking about? Look, we're going to show you cartoons. Guys, we've been to space, okay? We've been to space. We go there all the time. It's just a cakewalk at this point. I mean, sure, we destroy the technology, and it's a painful process to build it back because some reason you would invoke emotion talking about technology being built. But anyway, we can go there, I promise. We just don't ever go there. But Anyway, we've already mapped everything out. We've already been to space. We've been to space. You're people in the 21st century denying that the Earth's a magic spinning cartoon ball. We've been to space. Then why do we only ever see cartoons? Literally, all we ever see is cartoons. It's a freaking joke, dude. What is that? We're stupid for not believing in this right here. There are people that think I'm stupid because I don't believe this is real. But it's a cartoon. It has to be real. They use real data.
But whether an other Earth exists...
Oh, I'm stupid because I don't think that steam is going to come out of a black hole. What even is this? What is that, bruh? This is top tier 2020 space, bro.
But whether an other Earth exists, what would its discovery mean for the future of humanity?
Oh, look, more cartoons.
If we were to discover the other Earth, the place we have sought, the missing world, it would be profoundly humbling.
Did ancient aliens really help?
Oh, man. What a bunch of clowns, dude. Oh, we got 137 legends in Dlive. What's up? If we're going to talk Santa and Satan, Dlive Devil, just saying. That's pretty funny. Welcome. Make sure you follow. Thank you, Red, for Bear. You're a legend. Everybody just follow. Follow. We got 818. Let's see what we can get up to. Maybe everyone here's already followed, though. It looks so fake. It must be real. Legend here, my man. What's up, bro? Everybody follow. Everybody just press the follow. You can sub if you want to, but we just want to follow. Should we just play more copyright stuff? 137 in YouTube too. Yeah, we got 130. We got. Oh wow, we have like the same number at both places. What's going on? Yeah, smash the Rogan's up. Or I guess they're gonna take this video down and maybe clip it out. I don't know. They might not. They just make it where I can't monetize it. I'm gonna play more ancient alien things. They can kick rocks, dude. This is the biggest deception coming. So I don't know. I don't know if these are even good to watch. We could watch the Hollow Earth. Y'all help me pick out. Oh, here we go. All right, guys. Everyone knows what's going on. You know, YouTube, the Grabblers are out. They love my stream. You know, they've been watching it for a while now. They take my videos down without explanations, without responding to my emails. They just take them down. So they attack my stream anytime they have an opportunity to. Whatever. I'm not going to stop doing the stream a certain way because YouTube doesn't want to let me have fair use. When they know when I challenge and appeal it, I will win, but they don't care. They want to mess the stream up right now. Well, they can kick rocks. They're not going to change the way I do the stream. In a world.
Iraq, March 19th, 2003. The United States military begins its shock and awe air campaign.
Oh yeah, Vader Bear. My notification said 12:25 for my live stream start. That's my bad, bro. When I started the stream, I accidentally just automatically put 12:25 because it was so close to the time I was starting the stream, and I had to go back and change it. So that's my bad. And then the original stream, actually, Dlive wasn't working. I had to shut it down and start a new one. So, you know. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's why I'm trying to make sure. I'll try to make sure I'm more consistent with the time because I know they're not sending y'all notifications. But if everyone goes to Dlive does send notifications, and I'm thinking about just kind of forcing the people over there. If you really want to watch the stream, you know, we're gonna do Dlive exclusives because we got to have a place where everyone can consistently know when I'm live. If you followed me on Dlive, like this is the thing. If you have your notifications on and you follow me on Dlive, even if you want to watch me on YouTube, it'll send you a notification that I'm live. So you'll know, if YouTube doesn't send you a notification, Dlive will. Dlive sends me a notification every time Owen goes live. So you can set it up. And then you're just like, okay, every time Jaron goes live, I get a notification, right? So Brian goes live, I get a notification. So you'll get your notification from Dlive. You know, and there you go. Yeah, sorry about it being so late tonight, guys. Anyway, that's my suggestion. If you go to Dlive, you'll never miss the notifications. In a world.
For the city of Baghdad. It is a preemptive strike aimed to overthrow Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein. who the government believes is in possession of weapons of mass destruction.
Saddam Hussein wanted to make Iran a regional and perhaps a global superpower. He spoke about himself as the new Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar II was the great Babylonian warrior king.
Oh, you mean Nimrod. And by the way, what is in the Matrix at the beginning? Let's actually just look at it. How do you even spell this? Let me think. I felt so slow right then. Oh my gosh, it was right up here. In the Matrix, there you go. Here it is in the Matrix. Nebuchadnezzar, Mark 3. This will be the third time the mark is revealed. Okay, this will be the third time the mark's revealed. Mark number 3, because there was a mark in the antediluvian era, then there was a flood, then there was Nimrod, there was a second mark, and this will be number 3, mark number 3. What does number 11 refer to? I don't know. I have to break the spell down some more. Nebuchadnezzar, of course, Nimrod, made in the USA year 2069. I'd have to break this down. They got me again. Everyone just go to Dlive, bro. I don't even care, dude. Gotta have the Lackluster app on your phone. Oh, you're talking to someone else. We got 135 legends here. Oh, we're back. We're back on YouTube. It'll just from mentioning the Matrix, they're on. Yeah, isn't that crazy that I went off the video and I went to freaking Google Images and they're still like attacking the stream, bro. This is such losers, bro. Anyway, just so you know, this is truth hidden in plain sight, right? Mark number 3. It's the third mark of the beast. Nebuchadnezzar's Nimrod, made in the USA. They have some year they want to bring them about, but they're not even in control. What is number 11? It has something to do with probably there were 10 chiefs that came down, and maybe this will be the final number 11. I don't know. I have to get to the bottom of that. Anyway, in a world.
Babylonian warrior king, most famously known for rebuilding and expanding the Babylonian Empire in the 6th century BC. His armies conquered Egypt, as well as ransacking and destroying Solomon's temple in 597 BC.
Saddam Hussein went nuts. He believed he was the reincarnation of Nebuchadnezzar. So he ordered massive reconstruction of Babylon, which was done with bricks bearing his name on them. Everyone would come to respect the ancient Nebuchadnezzar and the new Nebuchadnezzar.
The missing piece to the puzzle of why we went to war with Iraq is the understanding that Saddam Hussein sought to outdo what Nebuchadnezzar had accomplished in his earlier life. The ultimate accomplishment of Nebuchadnezzar was the opening of the fiery furnace. Nebuchadnezzar had gone to Jerusalem, looted and leveled the Temple of Solomon, and he brought the wise men of the temple back to Babylon with him. What happened in the story is absolutely amazing.
Look at this little occultic crap this dude's wearing. I'm going to pause it. Oh, they still hit me. I was like, I'm going to pause it. It's been a few seconds, and they still hit me. Anyway, dude, I'm just talking to Dlive. Like I said, everybody just go to Dlive. Just go to Dlive. Go to Dlive. Dlive.tv. WitsitGetsIt. Download the app if you have a phone. It's really simple. It's not complicated. I think I now have it set up where my replays are going to upload. So hopefully this stream will automatically load up to replays for 3 days. We're at 823. We went up a couple. So if we can get some more subs. If you do come over here to watch the stream, just follow me. Follow me. Wow. How many grabbles does it take to grabulate to a grabbler? Wow, sounds like you had plans for the grabblers. Yeah, dude, this is some gravy, and they're trying to dude, it's all good. Screw Grabbler tube. Stream's unavailable. Give us like 30 seconds so we can make sure Austin doesn't get to make his coherent points.
Amazing. These 3 wise men enter this fiery furnace. Not only did they come back out in perfect condition, they weren't alone. They came back with an extraterrestrial visitor in tow. In today's terms, we would obviously call this a stargate or a portal.
No, what actually happened, guys, was that God sent an angel to protect them.
In today's terms, we would obviously call this a stargate or a portal. Saddam knew this.
There's one theory that the Iraq War was actually a war about a stargate. Saddam Hussein, so the theory goes, got access to this stargate, maybe threatened to use it. Was that why the Allied powers went in? It sounds far-fetched, but this theory is widely believed.
Is it possible
creepy
the United States military was pursuing more than weapons of mass destruction when they invaded Iraq?
Yes, Tomb of Gilgamesh.
Could something of great significance, perhaps a portal to another world, have been found amongst the chaos? And if there are truths about extraterrestrial involvement with our planet hidden in forbidden zones,
Wow.
just what would happen when the truth is finally revealed?
It wouldn't be on that cartoon nonsense. Was it worth making the stream fall down? I don't know. I'm pretty indifferent about it, to be honest with you. So I'm sure it'll pop back up once I just start talking again. But anyway, there you go. What was the war actually about? Shout out to all the legends of Dlive once again. We got 174. That's what I'm talking about. What was it actually about? Well, you know, it appears they think they found the Tomb of Gilgamesh in the early 2000s or the late 1900s, like 1990s. To the early 2000s, and that's why we went there. Some say that we actually found giants. I actually got sent a recent article about how there was a giant. Maybe I'll actually look at that since we're just swing for the fences. Sorry it's late, guys. I know, like, I took a nap, so I'm not tired, you know. That's why I was so late, because I was just way behind on sleep, and I was hanging out with a friend, then I took a nap. So sorry that it's so late. I understand if you want to dip, but hey, it's Nimrod. Oh, I guess it's Mythmas now, right? Just a sec, guys. Just a sec. Bang. My boy AI Overlord. Oh, it's just too long, dude. Let's check it out. I don't know if I can just listen to this dude talk this much, I'll be honest. This might be for the birds, guys.
Military training. I had become a Navy SEAL, joined my first SEAL team, which was SEAL Team 2 in Virginia.
Solito Bear, thank you for the diamond. Keep up this epic late night stream, my man. All right, I'll try and go for a while longer. If y'all are down, if y'all want me to keep going, I'll go. It's freaking 1 o'clock here, but I don't care. We're back. Surely they're not going to attack this stream. It's definitely the History Channel. The History Channel gets you. Nebuchadnezzar destroyed Israel, and they were calling Saddam his son. But aliens. Mr. Addison's funny, bro.
And I had...
Just shout out to Bob for hitting the Dlive chat link.
Joined my platoon, my 25-man platoon. We had gone through all this additional training at the team to prepare for deployment. And here I was, 3 years to the day, almost exactly, from when I went to boot camp, getting ready to deploy as a Navy SEAL to Afghanistan. But none of that training would prepare me for how intense my first couple of weeks in Afghanistan would be. So the flight to Afghanistan is...
From my understanding, you know, he's about to give you a story about what they found in the Middle East. So this could be some serious gravy. AI sent it, and AI is always pretty on point. So.
Until you enter Afghanistan airspace, when your pilots let you know, hey, you've entered Afghanistan airspace, they turn the lights to red in the inside of the plane, and they get ready to descend very rapidly into the base where we would be landing. You know, we can't afford to be in the air for any longer than we have to be because there's a risk of getting shot. So there's a super steep descent, and then they tell you to stay away from the windows, right? So you're avoiding the windows in case you get shot at. And I remember thinking, like, wow, like, this is really it. We're here. We're in a war zone. Like, we're nose diving into bases to avoid getting shot at. Like, it was intense. And I'm in my 20s. Like, it was just kind of cool. Then the ramp opened, the back of the plane opened, and we all got out, and we're inside of this very well fortified base. You know, we're safe in here. And immediately I was struck by the just stunning beauty of the landscape. I remember looking out in all these snow-covered mountains. And I remember thinking, like, how is this a war zone? This is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. I don't think I really appreciated just how foreign of a place Afghanistan is relative to where I come from. We get out to our site, and that night they wanted to go, they being the team that we were relieving, they wanted us to go on an operation. We were going to be up in the mountains. And I remember distinctly them talking about the cave systems that were in these mountains. And I remember thinking, like, how creepy that was, that we would be up on these mountains, walking around. It's so isolated, it's so foreign, and there could be, like, people hiding in caves that we could accidentally fall into one of their caves. Like, it really, really creeped me out. And so I was talking about how creepy these caves were, and the interpreter was like, you know, what's really creepy is back in 2002, there was this fairly well-documented case of another special operations unit, the Army Green Berets, coming in contact with a creature in a cave. And they actually got into a battle.
Oh, it's about to get some gravy, bruh. You know, it's so funny that I'll just say this, whatever. But so, like, I don't know. I guess I'm pretty open about everything with you guys anyway, right? So, I don't know. Like, I don't have a relationship with my real mom, right? I have, like, who I consider my mom is technically my stepmom, right? She's, like, taught me how to read and write since I was, like, a little bitty. But anyway, just to say all that was, well, my dad actually, you know, I believe it was Green Beret training. He passed the test, whatever, where like 95% of people fail. It's just real crazy test or whatever. And then the next day, Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait. I was born when he was overseas, and then my birth mom tried to give me up for adoption in California behind his back. And his mom found out, and then anyway, blah, blah, blah. But it's just pretty interesting that we just talked about Saddam, right? And then the Green Beret training. So I don't know. I find this to be super interesting. So just to explain why I'm probably going to end up watching all of it. Maybe we get some serious gravy here because this guy just said something about a creature in a cave in a world.
Case of another special operations unit, the Army Green Berets, coming in contact with a creature in a cave. And they actually got into a battle with it. And they lost one of their soldiers to this creature. And it was fairly well documented, but then it was quickly kind of silenced. I mean, certainly the story was interesting, but I didn't really believe it. Maybe it was some animal, maybe it was some person, whatever it was, there was some explanation to it. It wasn't until now that I actually started exploring different strange occurrences and strange events, and I looked and found some testimony from one of the soldiers that came forward anonymously, who was a part of this operation where they came in contact with this creature in Kandahar. And what struck me about his testimony is it sounds authentic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell that soldier's story, and I'm going to tell the other kind of corroborating witness stories as well to try to give you a picture of what happened in Kandahar in 2002. And you can be the judge if you think this is fact or fiction.
All right, and right there is where I'll jump in, and then I'm not going to probably not going to interrupt again because I've never heard it, but just so everyone knows, I'm not saying I know that this is real. I'm not saying this is real or fake. I am saying there's a lot of information that they think they found the tomb of Gilgamesh in the Middle East, and it has a lot to do with why we went to war. No, we went to war for oil. That's a cool story, bro. I bet you still think there were planes on 9/11. I bet you still think that Hitler really hated Jewish people. So the point here is that something did happen. Something is going on in the Middle East that's real important to these creepy little grabblers, and we do know we were lied to about much bigger people. When we found those bones over the course of the last century, they came in, so they were radioactive, told us the story about this fairy tale pseudoscientific story about dinosaurs and fossil fuels and all this nonsense. So it's worth looking into. So something like real seals don't talk about their life. Well, I personally know numerous seals that have told me all kinds of crazy stuff, bro. But here we go.
But before we get into today's story, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, don't miss any of those 3 to 4 weekly uploads. Vanished. They were on patrol in 2002. An Army infantry unit just vanished. They were on patrol in the Kandahar mountain range in Afghanistan, and they stopped using the radios. They stopped calling in. No one knew what was going on. They didn't call in a TIC, which stands for Troops in Contact. Basically, any military unit, if you're out on an operation and you start getting shot at, you radio in to your higher command, hey, troops in contact, or tick, which signals to them you need to get aircraft on standby, you need to get ready to send reinforcements, they need to be ready to support you. But they only do that if you signal that you're in a tick. And it's a lot of people, if anything, will call it in too early. You know, units are known to call it in almost prematurely sometimes. And so the idea that a unit would vanish without calling in a tick or any sort of communication about any gunfight or any ambush or anything, it's a little bit strange. And so they disappear. The army decides that in order to find them, because this is obviously a really big deal, they would get their most elite units. So the Army Green Berets, that's their very elite special forces. They would send them out to find this missing unit. And so one soldier that was a part of that elite special forces detachment, who just goes by Mr. K, he would come forward years later and tell the story of what happened once they were tasked with this.
I don't know anything about this guy. I Quell a bit egotistical, also a Glober. He's in it for the money and fear porn. I'm not attesting to this guy. I'm just trying to hear a story and see if we can piece it together, guys. Like, we've got to be able to hear things, right? It's just like globe earthers don't want to hear anything because dude, I mean, guys, almost everything you hear nowadays is a lie, and we should be used to it. We got to use discernment. I just want to hear the story because I've actually researched myself independently and found a whole lot of evidence about them finding something in the Middle East in the early 2000s.
So they leave via helicopters and they fly out to the Kandahar mountain range, about 4 clicks, so 4 kilometers about, from where they believed was this infantry unit's last number.
The Bible tells us that out of 6 women invited to a party by Yeshua, only 3 were able to attend. Why is this? Because it's explaining to you the differences between the people that are right with Yeshua and basically get to heaven, and those that don't. That's what the whole parable is about.
Location,
like having the light, like still being on the right path of righteousness, and those that are not, they had no oil in their lamps, they had no faith, they had no devotion, right? So there's the answer.
So they land and they start doing this fairly methodical search through the mountainside. They knew that they were in enemy territory, and at any time they could get into a gunfight, they could be ambushed. There's all these cave systems all over these mountains. And so it's slow moving to begin with. Plus, they're looking for this lost infantry unit. So it's just a very slow movement to the mountains. And so over the first few days, nothing really happened. They didn't come in contact with the enemy. They didn't see any sign of this missing infantry unit. They just walked along the mountains carrying a bunch of gear, and that was it. At some point, they noticed a little bit farther ahead that there was this distinct pathway leading up the mountain and kind of around the corner. And it looked like a goat trail. There were lots of goats that would run around the mountainside, and it looked like a very well-developed goat trail. And they decided, let's just go up there. If nothing else, we can go up onto wherever this leads us and maybe look down across the other side of the mountain and see if we can see anything. And so the team starts making their way up.
This dude sucks, trail, so let's just...
And as soon as they start making their way up, they start noticing that
this dude sucks. I see my boy said it was actually Marine Recon, so... Let's see.
मैं घटना के को बताऊंगा अफगानिस्तान के कंदाहार इलाके में घटी.
Bro, what is going on? Can we not just get the gravy story without listening to like some goober that makes me want to go to sleep? Is this too much to ask? It's just too much to ask. We're just gonna have to go back to this guy.
There are little pieces of American military equipment on the ground. There are pieces of radios, like whip antennas and housing of the actual radio itself. They found military-style backpacks as well, and they started finding pieces of uniforms that belonged to the missing infantry unit. They knew based on the patches that were on these uniforms. So as they're walking up this trail of broken equipment and uniforms, they start seeing some bone on the ground. They didn't know if it was human bone or what, but they start seeing broken bones scattered on their way up to this kind of plateau. And so now the special...
Oh my gosh, is there not just like a good 3-minute video that tells you the story, bro? Is this too much to ask, dude? I mean, I'm just not... I can't... Oh, man, this is just awful, dude. Like, everything's so long.
we come back to the base and we started hearing this rumor about a unit that killed this, what they started calling this really tall person. At first I didn't think anything of it, and come to find out that the person that they killed actually was 3 times the size of a man, had extra digits on their hand and digits on their feet, and had red hair, and a special unit had come in and wanted this target.
You were in Afghanistan in 2002, and you were called into a very remote section of Afghanistan because a patrol had basically gone missing.
Exactly.
Okay, this is not villages around for miles.
So very remote. Yeah, very remote. So we flew in. It's about 4 kilometers. We were hiking through the same area where they were supposed to make one of their checkpoints, their rally points. And before we left, there was all kinds of what happened with the ambush. That was even odd because at the point of the ambush, he was called for making close air support something. Okay, there was no call for making just off the break. So we're coming down a mountainside, and there was a nice path to go past. As we bent around this corner, you can see this opening of the cave. There's a cave. We're coming around, and then I see there's a lot of rocks, which is another oddity. And bone matter. When I'm not close enough to identify what kind of bones, but I did see something I knew was a piece of our communications equipment. So instantly.
This guy could be lying, but let's just hear him out, guys. That's spiraling.
Ambush, maybe animal, it could be anything. There was enough room in front of this cave, but it had a sheer drop off. But there was enough room that we actually got into a decent dispersal in case of ambush.
You see something coming out of the cave, and it's moving with a speed and agility that catches you off guard. Everybody.
And he comes out. There was a man at least 12 to 15 feet. This is a monster. Red beard, then his hair was long past the shoulder, a scarlet red, and Dan runs at him and starts shooting to broke all of us into the reality. As it was so
now your training is kicking in.
Oh yeah, okay. Muscle memory. Complete muscle memory. While Dan is moving at him, another bro of mine's laying down fire, and I start firing. He skewers Dick. He's now got him on this pike. It went 2. And he's still got it, and he's coming after more. We all just clicked in. I don't know what it was, but I remember we're all like, shoot him in the face, shoot him in the face. Our weapons components were in 4. We had 308s, and we had Barracudas. This is sounding longer than it took. We're talking 30 seconds. And he's taking multiple hits, and it's still moving.
He talked about this giant being 1,100 pounds, anywhere from 10 to 15 feet long, and it was killed. It was apparently shot somewhere in a cave in Afghanistan, but before it was shot, it lunged at several of our troops, our soldiers, may have even gorged somebody. It was just a bizarre story, and it just sounds like the Nephilim from the Bible, doesn't it?
That's why we're so fascinated by this.
Unfortunate that he had to attack our soldiers rather than be somewhat peaceful, but I guess that comes with the territory.
Dan was dead. Okay, and Wyatt is a good man. Probably one of the best men I know. Now dead. Before I'd left, they were already starting what they call a 9-line, which is a medevac request. They're sending out a medevac request, then all of a sudden it's not a medevac request. All of a sudden we had a helicopter show up because, like I told you, it was a large precipice and a sheer drop. So the helicopter just came up from the drop. They had dropped netting, which is like cargo netting. It's like squares. We were told we had to bundle him up. And we get another bigger helicopter, but it's almost like a Jolly Green Giant used to look back in the day that could get, through this area. because the mountains, you gotta remember, Chinooks could only go in certain places because they had enough lift. And so we got him on there. The thing was too big, we couldn't move it. It smelled worse than a skunk. The corpse that's been around for a while.
Really fell.
Oh, it was like a combination because of the, how do you put that, the persistence of a skunk smell. But once the helicopter came in, dropped its little hook, and off he goes. The communication was sent out that we had a very large, hostile human creature.
There you are in the hills of Afghanistan. How many troop members are you with?
We had 6 on my crew. And when we say hills of Afghanistan, for us, we did not fly into the wilderness. We actually flew into a base. I guess this thing was transloaded out of the mountains by a CH-47. What I could see that it did have the 6 fingers. I remember taking my foot up and placing it up next to its foot, and it was extremely large. We estimated at about 12 feet, give or take. What I can tell you is the weight of the thing. Basically, it was approximately 1,500 pounds of what was getting on the aircraft. Now, if you take away the pallet weight and all the rigging that we had to hold this thing down, we figured it was around 1,100 pounds.
Of course, we're upset. That's a given. Okay. We lost a very good guy. But add to that, you're discussing something that even in our after action report, they're saying rewrite it. And we had to rewrite it the way they wanted.
How many fingers?
6 toes. And the males were weird because if you see somebody that ever has, I don't know what it's called, but
like a fungus on
their nails, how they get pointy and they're like gnarly, that's what they look like.
I think here's my personal opinion. My personal opinion is if it points that the Bible is accurate, they don't want it. If it goes against Darwinian evolution, it's not to be spoken of.
So you're out in the boonies running around looking for high-value targets.
Correct. And we're doing those operations, and as we're getting into firefights, we're getting into different scrimmages, you want to put it that way, we would come back to the base and we started hearing this rumor about a unit that killed this, what they started calling this really tall person. At first I didn't think anything of it, and come to find out that the person that they killed actually was 3 times the size of a man, had extra digits on their hand and digits on their feet, and had red hair, and a special unit had come in and wanted this target. Well, we'd heard that they had killed this thing inside a cave, or the mouth of a cave, and it was common knowledge among the military to hear this.
And when you say common knowledge, what do you mean? I mean, how does that work?
Years later, come to find out, when I had returned from Afghanistan and had met other military members that had not been in the operations with me, if you would bring up the giant of Kandahar, they knew about it. When you first hear it, you're thinking like, this has got to be a joke. This has got to be a hoax. And then after things go down a certain way and you keep hearing it, you start to realize it's not a joke. They kept telling us to keep our weapons high, which means normally it's 2 to the chest, 1 to the head, but they kept telling us to put it towards a man's head and put it higher. So we would question, why do they want us to shoot higher than a man's head?
That's bizarre.
It is.
Our contact said 2002 is when they shot this 15-footer or taller, and you're now in this, in the service around 2005. This word has gotten out, and what I find interesting here too is that if you're going to create a hoax, I get that, but you got details: 6 fingers, red hair, double rows of teeth, 6 digits on the toes, and of course that brings it right back into what we hear about in the biblical prophetic narrative, specifically the Nephilim. Your thoughts?
I agree. I will tell you that when I was doing my time in the service, and the stuff I saw, some of it I couldn't explain, like lights in the sky during firefights, like orbs, or lights that be the size of a softball that look that size looking up in the sky but making weird noises. And even going to Iraq myself and being near Hadifa Dam and seeing the prisoners underneath the dam, and prisoners would scream and there'd be this awful feeling underneath the dam, and later finding out in the Bible that angels locked underneath there, as it talks about.
And this Haditha Dam is the Euphrates.
It's Euphrates,
and there's
right.
an angel supposedly locked underneath the Euphrates,
Correct.
which is released in the Book of Revelation.
Correct.
That's bizarre. So you're actually at this site, and soldiers are being locked in prison underneath the Haditha Dam,
Correct.
and they're freaking out.
They were freaking out. They said they could feel it. In fact, the people who would guard them they would draw straws to see who would actually take them.
No one wanted to go down.
Nobody wants to go down. Going back to Afghanistan, we would hear these things. We would hear the locals talk about rumors of these giants.
What would the locals say? How would they talk about it?
They say that they lived in the caves and they would eat people, and
they were cannibals.
They were cannibals.
All right, let's be honest. That was a bit of gravy, bro. It was a bit of gravy. Everyone just chill. It's all good. We just got to enjoy the gravy. Let's see here. Nico Bear, thank you for helping out with all the gift subs. You are a legend. Every time I turn around, you're just gifting subs. What a legend. So shout out to all the new subs. We got 829 followers. We're going to be all right. I'm going to wrap this up. It's been 2 hours and 15 minutes. I don't think anyone ever jumped on. If you did, I'm sorry. I might have missed you. But it's 1:30 in the freaking morning, you know, so I love you guys, but you know, that's pretty interesting. Maybe I'll look more into that. I've heard that it's like all you're ever really going to get is anecdotal evidence with that, and that's to be expected. If it did really happen, you wouldn't get much more than that. You know what I mean? So I'll do a recap real fast. It's really simple, just a simple overarching premise here, and then I'm going to get out of here. So basically what we covered was that we are told all of these are just mythological representations, allegorical, metaphorical. None of this really happened. You know, how could something like that really exist? Look at that thing, dude. Oh, you have a bird head? Obviously, this is just symbolic, right? What we found out is by looking at all the evidence without bias, it appears that all these people that we were told were archaic and primitive were actually super advanced compared to what we've been told. And they all thought they were literally real. They never, ever said that it was just metaphorical at all. They thought it was very real based on their ancestral teachings. And it just goes on forever. You'll just see depictions of these things that will blow your mind, like the Egyptian god Horus here. All right, here we go. You see all kinds of different depictions, many goddesses, and people think it's all fake, but I certainly do not. This is why you wear the fish on your head with the little pope, right? Because of Osiris. So there you go. I mean, yeah, this stuff is real. That's pretty simply what it is. We got the top 10, which there were 10 chiefs of the Watchers. We got Amun-Ra, Mut, Osiris, Anubis, Ra, Horus, Thoth, Hathor, Sekhmet, Geb. I'll link this if I can remember to. So yeah, really simply, you know, truth is stranger than fiction. We were lied to about history. It seems like people were very advanced. They did things that we can't do. They built megalithic structures that we can't replicate. They were able to harness energy, which us stupid primitive humans in 2020 have yet to be able to do. And we think it's some non-renewable source where we have to have AC electricity, where there's loss and it's super inefficient. We've been lied to about everything. These creepy little grabblers, the esoteric belief systems of the Gnostic elite, so-called, they think they're the special boys because they think that they know that the Egyptian quote-unquote mythos is real. It tracks to before them. They love their Roman ordeals because the Roman mythology, the Greek mythology, all of this is all stemming from the Egyptian mythology, which stems from before that. This all comes from Babel and all the way back to Atlantis. These are the secret boys' teachings, right? They have actual texts that are Gnostic, little texts that they think are special. So imagine if you were to get into the bottom of the Vatican or get into some of these people's houses, you might even find the freaking emerald tablets, like the real ones or something that supposedly came from Thoth, which would have been of Watcher or the offspring of one, right? So the Watcher came down, taught tons of secrets. Anything that's deified in Egyptian mythology as a god, well, they were the Watchers that came down, and 7 of them didn't come down, but they were still in the sky, and they were revered as gods. And then there were the sons of gods or whatever, the other demigods that would come down. Then they would take women as wives, and they would continue to have offspring. There was actually goddesses as well. And all this is just more true than you may think, right? And we've been conditioned to think it has to be metaphorical, it has to be allegorical. It's so out there, so off the wall, it can't be real. That's the whole trick. The whole trick is they think they're special boys. They call themselves Masons because of how the ancient civilizations built things with with rock and how intricate it was. This is because they knew it came from an enlightened state of the Watchers that knew how to manipulate them very efficiently. That's why they call themselves Masons. And so what you'll find out is that their entire belief system, if you read their literature and listen to what they say, is that this stuff is real. They're the special boys that connect back to them. Some think they track their blood back to the Egyptians. They know the original ones were like fair-skinned, Rh negative Aryan people that track back. And so they think that they're special. And the Aryans were not exclusive to fair-skinned people or anything like that. Just they are typically depicted as fair-skinned, blonde hair, blue eyes, red hair. They hid that from you. They think they're secret, and they know that they were the first ones to be over Egypt before it was taken over by the dark-skinned tribes as they ambushed them. So they think that they were, in fact, the special boys, right? And that they tracked themselves back to the Watchers or to the hierarchies that were right underneath the Watchers. And so they think that this is like their history. And so they lied to you about it so they can be the secret boys in a little cult where they have their family history where it ties back into all of this mythos. It isn't a mythos. Not everything is fake. There's nothing new under the sun. There used to be giants. And it sounds crazy to people that are closed-minded, but I don't know why you'd be on this channel if you are. But there clearly used to be giants. It seems that some may even still be here today, as we just saw. I'll have to look more into that. And there you go. Everything's a lie. Everything's about the Watchers. They deceived everybody. I'm going to throw some lemons in here. Shout out to all the legends. We got 155. Thanks for all the lemons and ice creams. Thanks for the subs. Thanks for the follows. Surely everyone in here has followed. That would be great. We're going to distribute the lemons. 26 seconds in a world where gammas run wild. If the different civilizations depict these gods in a different way, which one's the literal truth? Well, I would say it's the scriptures where they describe the Watchers. So I would say Enoch is the literal truth, and they almost all depict them the same, bro. That's what puts the pieces together, right? Like everyone tells the same story about Nimrod. They call him a different name, but the story is exactly the same. A mighty hunter that took over the whole world and built the towers, the one world order, led the whole world. All the stories are the same with different names. It's like this with all of these gods, all these polytheistic gods. You can track them back to the same exact stories. They all track back to the 7 that were up there, right? The 7 rebellious angels that they think are the gods because they're actually up in heaven, up above you, luminaries, so they revere them. And then you have the Watchers that came down, 10 chiefs, 200 total. And there you go. That's my answer. All right, the lemons have been distributed. So thanks for kicking it, everybody. Thank you. Top 3, we got my boy Prognostic, we got Nico Bear, and we got Bob from Glowbusters, the top 3. Thank you, guys. Y'all are legends. Much appreciated. 833. So we're getting up there slowly but surely. If you want to sub, that'd be cool. It's really cool if you follow and then hit the notification. If YouTube doesn't give you a notification, then Dlive will. We're going to start doing Dlive only streams also, so you should definitely go over there and make an account. Austin, heard of Gary Wayne's Genesis 6 conspiracy book? I actually have it, bro. That book is the epitome of gravy, dude. I actually have it somewhere. Super, like 800 pages. I haven't read all of it, but yeah, it's really good. You got to read everything with discernment, bro. But all right, that's it. I'm about to get out of here. I'll make sure it's not too late tomorrow when I do a stream on Mythmas. I don't know how many people are going to be here with their family or whatever, but I'll be available and I will do a stream tomorrow night. So, yeah, thanks for kicking it. Like I always say, unplug from the box. Oh, actually, let me do some housekeeping, make sure I don't miss anybody. Working on the intro and outro and the Patrons and stuff. So, oh, by the way, we got XRP up 39.21%. What? In the last day. So everyone was freaking out about XRP, and it did drop a ton. But why is it saying it's up that much? Yeah, 25 to 39%. 25 cents, 39 cents. So XRP has gone up. XRP has gone up 39% in the last day. So I told you not to sell it. Still don't sell it. I told you to go buy it last night, which you would have made 40% on your investment. So everyone, don't freak out at XRP. Just chill. They're shaking off all the weak investors, all the weak retail investors. They know what's going on. I told you to invest into it because of the use case. That means the usability, the actual tangibility of value, the use case. That's going nowhere. I did a lot of research. I don't just say things for no reason. I wouldn't be so confident telling you. Here's my take. I've been getting hit up a lot about it. Do not panic sell. and you just buy the dips. And we're about to have a crazy takeoff by the end of quarter one. Not financial advice, but I know some people were kind of freaking out, so I gave my take. I honestly think there's literally no reason to freak out at all. And if whenever you make a good thing, a good jump up, you should just take the money out, put it in the cash wall, wait till the dip, buy back in, but, not financial advice. I always say that so people don't try to get mad at me because they don't do the right thing. I mean, the right thing is to invest in XRP and then take your profits as you continue to go up, and to know that you're investing in use case and you're holding. You're not just trying to, day trade or whatever. So, all right. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to get out of here. Unplug from the beast system. Just unplug, bro. Unplug from the beast system before it's too late. Before they get everyone to plug in, just go ahead and unplug. And seek and speak truth unequivocally, right? So, truth is stranger than fiction, and weak-minded people will always team together via mob mentality and throw rocks like little gammas from the sidelines that the strong independent thinkers do. Just wear it as a badge of honor. Seek and speak truth unequivocally. Never been more important than right now. I think we can all agree 2020 is a complete and total clown world. Thanks for kicking it on Dlive. If you haven't, go follow. Links to support in the description. Oh, yeah, I was supposed to do the housekeeping, because I remember I got something on Cash App. Jennifer, thank you for the $50 on Cash App. You're an absolute legend. Much love, much appreciated. You're the best. I don't think I have anything else here. I do not. So there you go. Links in the description, XRP, Patreon, Cash App, PayPal, all the support on Dlive, much appreciated. If you do the Patreon, of course, I'll throw you on there. I'm trying to work on the outro video or the intro. It's not the best, but it goes the gray glow is tier 1, blue is tier 2, purple is tier 3, orange is tier 4, and then gold would be tier 5, which there isn't one. So I just wanted to shout out everyone for their tiers, but not make it too big of a deal. Everyone gets their name on there. If you don't want your name on there, message me on Patreon. If you want me to put a different name instead of your real name on there that you may have accidentally not noticed was on there, let me know. I'll change it. I'll do whatever y'all want to do. I just didn't want to leave people hanging and make I wanted to show some love to the people that support me monthly. Of course, all the people on Dlive, y'all support me monthly, and y'all are absolute legends. Everyone that supports me in all the ways that they do, thank you. Y'all are awesome. Much love. I will continue to ladle the gravy the best that I can. And, we'll keep putting pieces together. This was an impromptu stream. But anyway, seek and speak truth unequivocally. I will catch up with y'all tomorrow, probably at like 9-ish, I'm guessing. 9 Central, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Be there, be lame. Been cool, been real cool. So there you go. Catch up with y'all tomorrow. Peace.
That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting say they high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up, had to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Took the way you saw the world, then distorted it. Now you think you wanna rock that twirl, somewhere orbiting. Theories disproportionate, the truth distorted quick with a forceful grip. They force a misinfo that we absorbing quick. Took the people's signature to mean extorted it. They forging it, if news anchors informant to informing them. There's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. But what's important is this, we port in ships important. Yes, of course it is, but extortion is in accordance with an assortment list of foreign tricks we ignoring, which informing this, informing this. It looked like we were snoring tricked. Pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those insubordinate. Way to matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting say they high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real?